We've got a crash on 40 going west at Ballas. That's in the right two lanes in the shoulder. 6440 west at Ballas. Just before, there's a crash in the right two lanes. Road work on 40 east at McKnight in the right lane. Some debris on 70 east at Shreve. Watch out for that.
We have had a great run of weather, but summer is now going to take control into next week. Lots of sunshine this afternoon. Humidity kind of in the moderate range. 92 for the high. Tonight, clear skies. 67 for the overnight low. Friday, really a summer feel. Sunny, hot, more humid on Friday. 95 degrees. The record's 98, so we're short of the record on Friday. The weekend, Saturday, sunny and 96. Also short of the record of 100. And Sunday, partly sunny, maybe a spot afternoon thunderstorm Sunday, 95. Also short of a record of 101. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We've got some sun. It's 86. Feels like 91 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has brought cheers to their fans for decades with the best styles, cutting-edge tech, and good old family values. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Thursday to you. Another gorgeous day out there. Hey, Vic Souders, happy birthday to you, Vic. Vic is always on the stream and a good friend of ours, so happy birthday to Vic. Let me start today by just setting the table and just being really honest with you guys about the show. So it's a strange space to be in. For the DGS, which we're basically a comedy show. We do a little bit of everything, as you guys know, but we're the lighter side of KMOX. And on a day like today, when there's so much going on still from the shooting of Charlie Kirk and 9/11, and it's big and heavy and heady stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have the tool set that some of my fellow broadcasters do to just do hard stuff for 4 hours. It's just not what I do. If something huge went down, Michael Calhoun would be taking over, or CBS News, and we would be doing our stuff. You may remember, if you've been with me for the last 24 years, that I was on for about 10 or 12 hours on 9/11. So I did that. But it's just not what we do. And I'm not sure that's what you need or want from us. So I want to talk about it a little bit to start the show. Anything you guys want to talk about, we can do that. But we have a regular show today. We have Ian Mackey, our pal who's the state rep, who's going to check in with us at the bottom of the hour. Brad Young will be on. I'm sure he'll talk about all this stuff. Janelle's going to join us. Mike Evelyn will be with us later. But for the most part, we're kind of going to do a regular show, if that's okay with you guys. And hopefully you understand why. I'll tell you this. Just the difference in news outlets. Last night, I pretty much just watched cable news. And if I went to CNN on a day like yesterday and they were doing a story about anything other than Charlie Kirk got shot, I would be pissed because I'm here to find out the latest. If I went to Colbert, I wouldn't expect that. So that's kind of the difference.
Yeah.
And I do want to say a couple of things just about yesterday and today. And nothing I'm about to say is going to be new. It's not going to be earth shattering. No one's going to say, wow, finally someone said it. But they're just observations. Since this is the 24th anniversary of 9/11, going back to that period, but just before, when I talk about ad nauseum, and I know I get on your nerves about how things were different in the 70s and 80s and 90s and so forth and so on, and they were. And I would say the big difference is things feel much, much heavier today and much more dense and much more fighting and vitriol. And I don't think it's an accident. I don't think that it happened organically, which is what really makes me sad. I don't think that we just decided 25 years ago that, life's just a little too good. Let's screw it up and, take sides and hate each other. I think a couple things happened, and I think they happened in unison. I think the big thing was CNN went 24/7, and then Fox News went big, and they either decided as evil empires, or they just figured it out along the way that, hey, if we create a couple jerseys, if we create blue and red jerseys, these people are going to be way more invested in us than just CNN or Fox. And then the political parties figured out the same thing. The days of, Bill Clinton and, Tip O'Neill and Reagan and all that, which were, because I was there, much, much different than things are today. And you didn't know anyone's politics. And if you did, they were your one friend who constantly talked about politics. They kind of annoyed you, but it wasn't anything like it is today. And I again, to reiterate, I don't think it happened organically or naturally. I think it was foisted upon us. I think we have swallowed that hook deep in our gullet and we can't seem to get away. And we're seeing the fruits of it. I think yesterday was the fruit of the last 25 years. And the other point I want to make, and I'm sort of stealing a little bit of what my co-hosts were talking about over lunch today, and you guys please jump in here because it was more, I think, Wheel's concept than mine. But we have to remind ourselves that when someone acts violently towards another person, especially when they shoot and kill them, like what happened yesterday, yes, they probably do have a political bent. And they may be an extremist on something, pro-trans, anti-trans, pro-Israel, anti-Israel. But you have to keep one thing in mind. Keep reminding yourselves that in addition to being Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, pro, anti, they're also a murderer, right?
Yeah.
Luigi Mangione seems to be a liberal guy who is mad at big pharma and healthcare, and he's a murderer. Okay? A lot of people out there with his thoughts and views who never think about buying a gun and shooting someone. Whoever this guy turns out to be from yesterday, whatever he believes, he's also a murderer. The guy that attacked Paul Pelosi, he's insane. And so we can't forget that.
You got the guy in Minnesota, Vance Bolter, who shot Melissa Hartman, and then another state senator, and had a whole list of 34 people. He was shooting people. He had a list of politicians he wanted to kill. Is it his ideology, or is he the lone nut job? And the thing we have to avoid is making the nut job bigger than they really are. Because what we see a lot of in these cases is they killed this person, they killed that person, implying that it's your political opponent that did it. And it's not. It's one person. It was true for Vance Bolter, who was a conservative guy that went out and shot Democrats. It's probably true of this case, but we won't know, right, until we know. But this is the part that's crazy, Dave, is we don't even know who the person is yet. And it feels like the whole internet has decided who did what. But you don't even know who the person is. You have no idea. And we don't have and this is not, I mean, again, this case is a conservative voice being silenced. That's what that was, right? But the case in Minnesota was the opposite. That was a Democratic politician being silenced, being killed. And it's the same essential action. In one case, we know the person, and we know that, and the way we know the motivations is because we found the person. And then you examine their life and the things that they said. And the guy had a list of all these people that he said that he wanted to shoot. And when this case comes, the same thing with Luigi Mangione. We didn't know anything about him at first. We just knew this was this picture that we saw. And then you find out more about him later on, and you understand that this was not a group thing. It was a guy who was mad, and he took out his anger on another person that he basically blamed for this big structural problem that exists in healthcare, right? You have to dig into it as these are individual people. But when we do this, and I don't know, this is the problem that I have with it, guys. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I can't tell what's being put out there, if it's a bot, if it's just trolls, if I'm actually seeing a post from a real human being, or if this is just like all these things are on autopilot with the entire point to create chaos. How hard would it be to just have a whole bunch of bots or a bunch of anonymous accounts? I mean, the public people that we see speaking, we know who the public people are. But so much of the noise could literally just be bot farms, could literally just be trolls who want trouble, who want to stir things up.
And even, and maybe I'm giving people too big of a pass here, but even the ones we know are humans who are taking very extreme positions or calling for some sort of violence, I don't let them out of it. No. They're responsible for their actions. They're responsible for their words. But I think it's tragic that this scenario has happened, in my opinion, through very purposeful actions on behalf of the media and politicians. I don't think that if that doesn't happen, I don't think we're here in 2025. I think we're more like 1995. I don't think this was going to happen. I think this was something that was engineered, and we just fell for it.
I get maybe engineered for profit.
Yes. I don't think anyone said, let's ruin the country.
Right. So there's money in this.
Let's ruin American life.
Yeah.
I think it was just classic corporate myopic views that, hey, we can double our ratings if we this.
If we just do politics instead of news.
And if we do it in such a way that people really do choose sides.
Yeah.
And if we start making it that, they're the enemy. Steve Bannon yesterday, of course, Steve Bannon, but saying like Charlie Kirk was a casualty of war. It's free speech. Never highlighted more than yesterday.
Yeah.
And you get to say those things. But before you do, just think about it. We have a big, giant fire that's not completely out of control yet, but we've all got a gas can. And it's just a matter of who's going to take that gas can and throw it on the fire and who's going to keep it in their hands.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, who are we talking about with this the other day, guys? It was during the think tank about how siloed people's experiences are on the internet. So if you're in a silo, you are only seeing the things that confirm, or at least somewhat confirm, what you want to believe and see. So this is why when I ask, I'm like, well, why would this be so much different than the guy in Minnesota? To me, it's two of the exact same thing. It's a person, now assuming this person's reasons are political, which again, it's probably a fair assumption, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows if there was a personal interaction between the two that pissed the guy off? And, we don't know, and we will eventually. It's a fair assumption to say it's probably political.
Yeah.
But we don't know yet. But let's say that we do know. Those two actions, regardless of who the victim was, are the same action. It's a person reacting out of anger, fear, mental illness, combination of all, whatever, killing people who they see as being dangers to their way of life. Because the way this has all been portrayed for the last 20, 25 years is that one side, doesn't even matter which one, because if you're on one side, you think it's the other side that's trying to destroy your way of life, because that's how it's positioned. That's what Steve Bannon was doing there. And why do those people do it? Why does Steve Bannon do it? Who even knows who Steve Bannon is if he's not inflammatory, if he's not pushing big, wild ideas? He exists as an entity because of what he is. And there is an equivalent on the left. There is somebody who's the exact same on the other side. And yet we ignore the motivations of, as you put it, the networks who all they care about are eyeballs on the set. And they've proven that. What did they do all this time? 24-hour news is boring and expensive if you're going to do news, right? If you're going to do investigative reporting. So what's cheap? Opinions are cheap. Politics is easy. And if you turn news into politics and you bury people with it 24 hours a day for 2 full decades, what do you think's going to happen?
We just found out.
I mean, 25 years ago, you wouldn't have seen a single bumper sticker on a car that had anything to do with politics. And now it's almost every car you see. There's something.
So I just want to get that off my chest and kind of set the table for the rest of the day. Like I said, we'll be talking about this off and on with our guests. And if something comes up, I mean, hell, during the show, they could catch this guy. So you don't know when we're going to go all news, but just wanted to kind of put that out there between me and you and kind of give you my opinions. Tell you guys about First Missouri Credit Union. I would just consider it a personal favor if you would just consider possibly opening up a checking account at First Missouri. I have been with the same bank for over 30 years. They are fine. They've never done anything mean to me. They've never disappointed me, but I still can't get a BB up my butt when I go to see them because it's just so intimidating. And even though I have good credit and everything now, I didn't always, I'm still just kind of, nervous. When I go in to see my guys at First Missouri, I'm not nervous at all because I'm not a customer. I'm not a client. I'm not even a big customer. I'm an owner. I'm a member. And it doesn't mean they have to give me what I ask for, but it does mean they have to bend over backwards to try. The big selling point, let's be honest, is 4.27% interest on your checking account up to $100,000. They're down on Lee May Ferry, but if you're nowhere around there, you can go to credit unions right down the block from you and get that rate. 314-544-5050 or the number one stmocu.org.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
KMOX is everywhere. 1120 a.m. Streaming live on the Odyssey app and now at 104.1 FM.
Welcome back, DGS. Let's take this to the bottom of the hour, and then we'll kind of pivot. But another thing I wanted to say about all of this and what's going on, I heard last night on the news a dozen times, maybe more, this is not who we are. This is not who we are. And I wanted to bring that up with you guys and get your opinions on that. And I did a little thinking on it. It seems to me that this is who we have become, apropos of my summation that this was done to us by the media and politicians, the political parties specifically. This is who we have morphed into, but it's only who we've been for the last 20, 25 years, which tells me it's not who we have to be permanently.
Yeah.
We can work our way out of this. Things can change. But I also think we're kind of enjoying it in a sick way, not obviously someone being killed, but the fight. It's why people are obsessed with sports. It's why we become obsessed with politics, because we like wearing jerseys and we like fighting the other guys and we like having enemies. But it doesn't work well in marriages, and it's not working well in this country. And if we're going to stay in this United States of America marriage, we're going to have to do something. Need some counseling or something.
I mean, it's an interesting day considering, the 24th anniversary of 9/11, because that time period is probably the last time we didn't look at each other as enemies for any extended period of time. It didn't last forever, but there was certainly a period of time where everybody's like, all right, you know what? My neighbors are all right because there's these other people out here that are trying to kill us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And over time, that because we don't have those repeated incidents, thank God, that we're not having more and more of those types of things, but we've turned inward rather than staying together, which is such a, I don't know. It's almost it's almost like a Greek tragedy. Like you have all this great, wonderful ability, and everybody is mostly the same. Whether you vote Republican or Democrat, most people are the same. You got the same things. You want good things for your family. You want to make more money. You want to retire at a good age. Like most people are the same. And yet we've spent forever trying to make it seem like one half the country wants the other half to cease to exist. And the bad guy just depends on which half you happen to vote for.
Any thoughts, Rach?
I mean, I have a lot of thoughts. I'm just trying to decide like what I want to say, if I want to say anything. I think, unfortunately, I do think this is who we are, Dave. It's like Andrew said yesterday. There's so many instances of political violence in our recent past. Wheels is right. Like most people do seem like they want the same things, but we've just been so convinced that like we can't achieve these things together. You have to stomp out the other side in order to get what you want. It's very difficult to like untangle all of this and talk about it in like a fair way, in a balanced way. I mean, he didn't deserve to die.
No.
And it's crazy that we have to like start every conversation with like, now, just because you don't like what he said, like, it's crazy that we've gotten to the point where we have to put the disclaimer of like, I don't agree with the guy, but it's like, no, of course, it should just be,
Right.
of course,
Of course.
he shouldn't have been shot.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
And that's just where I keep landing.
Yeah, it's a good place to land. And it's an interesting point you make that Kevin's right. I believe we all do want the same things for the most part for our life. But now we have an enemy that's keeping us from getting that. It's those GD liberals or those fascist conservatives. And that's what's keeping me from living my life.
Mm-hmm.
At 5, when others are running out of steam, the Redbird Rush Hour hits the gas. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Miklasz bring sharp analysis, fresh insight, and no recycled takes. Real baseball talk for fans who know the game. Redbird Rush Hour, weekdays at 5 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, the unrivaled voice of baseball.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, pennmutual.com/STL.
Summertime in St. Louis making a comeback, all about sunshine this afternoon. 92 for the high. Let's call it moderate humidity. Humidity's coming back, though. Tonight, clear skies, 67. Friday, sunny, hot and humid, 95 in the afternoon. Saturday, sunny and 96. Sunday, partly sunny, maybe an isolated thunderstorm Sunday afternoon, but tough to find at 95. These temps well above average, but short of any records. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
At Penn Mutual, we believe that life insurance is the central part of a sound financial plan and that it can make an enduring impact for generations to come. Talk to your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. Penn Mutual, trusted for life.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Football is back, thank goodness. And Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri, and playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more during football season. There is nothing better. Download the app today and sign up with promo code TOM. That's really important. Promo code TOM to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TOM. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Tell you guys about my friends over at Triton Exteriors. Talk about them all the time, and they're just good to have in your back pocket. They're not a front pocket thing because we don't need exterior work done to our houses that often. Typically, it's just every few years you have to replace a roof or a storm blows through and take some of your siding off, or your gutters need replaced, or maybe you want to build a fence. But it's not an every year kind of thing. Certainly isn't for the Glover family. But when that happens to you, just remember that you have friends at Triton Exteriors. I believe in them completely. From the very first time I met Tim, I was really impressed. I believed what he was saying. So if you're fooled, I'm getting fooled too. But I vouch for them. They are almost always the middle bid. They're never going to shortchange you. If you need a new roof, you need a new roof. They're not going to give you a bid on half a roof like a lot of people will. Then they're not going to add 20 or 30% to the top of it. There's no reason to do that. But a lot of exterior companies that you would know the name of who might advertise on this station, they do that. If it's a $20,000 job, they're going to tell you 28. Triton doesn't play that game. 314-717-1159, Triton-STL.com.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Fridays mean football. From the zoo to the NFL, we've got your weekend covered.
On three, ready?
It's Friday football on KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Well, on the bright side, I think my vertigo's back.
Oh, no.
A few years ago, Wheels, I got benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, where the little crystals in your inner ear that tell you if you're up or down or sideways get out somehow. And last night I was in bed and I turned over kind of quick and I got sort of a swimmy feeling. And I thought, oh no, because that's how it started last time. And then this morning, just which is where I was sitting on the toilet, and I went to get up, and I bent over to grab my shorts and pull them up, and next thing you know, I slammed into the wall.
Dang.
Yeah. So
what was the solution for that?
it's the craziest thing you've ever seen. I went to Dr. Knoyer, my ENT, and that's when I told him I thought it was because I ate a dusty grape, and that's when he told me I was adorable. And then he did this thing to me, which I thought he was punking me. And I laid down on the exam table, and he took my head and he moved it like left, right, back, forward, like I was one of those little games with a BB inside of a maze.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, if it worked, I put your crystals back in your ears where they're supposed to be. And then a couple of days I was back to normal.
Yeah.
So they have to get squeegee again in a couple of days.
Man, ear crystals. Who knew?
Yeah.
That's so impressive. I mean, it's impressive to be a doctor, period. But
Right.
like the whole thing where it's like, you're the crystals in your ear. I know just how to fix that without even looking it up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a flex.
Our good buddy Ian Mackey is with us, state rep from the Clayton Ladue area. Hello, Ian.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Good. How's it going up there, down there?
Well, we are done on the House side. We have finished our work for the special/veto session. Everything is now in the hands of the Senate, and they are moving extremely quickly. In fact, as quickly as they've ever moved that I can recall, because they have decided to completely upend their rules, upend their traditions, essentially adopt rules that are like the House of Representatives, where, the majority reigns with an iron fist and everything just barrels through. So they ditched all their procedures. They're moving at lightning speed, and they should be done here in a day or two.
So, Ian, I remember when the Democrats were in charge of Missouri, putting on your honesty cap. If you guys were back in charge, do you think that you're better than this and you wouldn't do it? Or do you think that maybe you might be doing the same thing?
I don't know. It's tough to say. Democrats are the only party so far, at least that I can remember, and certainly in recent memory, that has filed legislation at the federal level to prevent gerrymandering. National Democrats have come out and said, yeah, look, we do it in Illinois. We've done it in other states. Both sides do this. Now, first of all, both sides don't do this mid-cycle. We do this every 10 years as Democrats and Republicans. It's brand new that we're doing this mid-cycle. But okay, let's go ahead and agree that we both gerrymander. Yeah, we're all interested in getting power. Democrats have a bill sitting in the federal Congress that says, let's put an end to this right now. Let's shake hands. Let's be over. Let's agree not to do this again. And Republicans refuse.
Ian, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, being in your position, what you thought of what happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday.
Yeah, awful, just terrible. Obviously, I hope it goes without saying, but we should say it, I guess, in this era of political violence we live in, that it's obviously not the answer. It's not the solution. It should never happen, regardless of who is in the spotlight. Obviously, Charlie Kirk said some insanely hateful, vile things. Gay people like me should be stoned. Black people should still be slaves. All the kids murdered and massacred in schools are just the price we pay for our gun laws. Horrible things. Violence just makes it worse. Just makes it. It doesn't solve the issue, right? It's horrible what happened to him. I feel terrible for his family, and I hope that whatever happens in these next few days, weeks, months, I don't see rhetoric tamping down with our current president of the United States. In fact, I see it amping up as recently as this morning. But what can I do besides hope that things get better?
Yeah, what can we do? I don't know if you saw it, Ian, yesterday in the federal House of Representatives. Speaker Mike Johnson was trying to do a moment of silence, and then Boebert wanted to do a prayer, and then someone started screaming no. And next thing you know, he's trying to bring it back to order, and they couldn't because people are screaming at each other. And Nancy Mace saying that the Democrats owned this murder. As someone who is in an elected position, what is your level of hope that we can bring the temperature down in the state houses and in D.C. in the next 10 or 20 years?
Well, I think what I was trying to say was the hope isn't really realistic, is it? It's not. I don't know how grounded in reality that hope is, Dave. It's just there. Violence is not a solution from my point of view. It's not something I would ever engage in. It's not something it's always something I'll condemn. And I'm not interested in arguing about that with anybody. And I'm not interested in using this to score political points one way or the other. Other people are going to do that. They're going to do that. And look, voters have to judge that. At the end of the day, how we get out of this, how we solve this, is voters choosing people in elected office who exhibit better behavior than what was exhibited on the floor of the U.S. House yesterday, who exhibit better behavior than what these politicians say on Twitter. Voters can fix that. They can vote for someone else. And it's up to us. It's not, these people on the stage with these microphones and these platforms, I get it. They're easy to attack. They're easy to throw under the bus. It's on us. We vote them. We put them in office. We need to do better.
Ian, I'm so glad you brought up the voters. I want to pivot back to the Missouri House for a second here and talk about the citizen initiative petition process. Okay, so there was a plan approved on Tuesday that would kind of change the way we do things. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the proposal is that we passed out of the House that's now in the Senate would require any initiative petition that gathers signatures around the state, makes it to the ballot. It would need to pass by a majority in all 8 of our congressional districts in order to be added to the state constitution. So right now what happens is, like in every election, 50% plus 1 simple majority is all it takes to accept a constitutional amendment, put it in the Constitution. This would require a simple majority in all 8 congressional districts, which means that if 7 districts reached a majority and 1 district reached 49.9%, it would mean that essentially, or right around 7,000 Missourians would be able to veto the will of the rest of the state. 1 congressional district, half of 1 congressional district, could veto what the rest of the state wants in the state constitution. That's that's the proposal that's on the table. But here's the news, and here's how it comes back to us as voters. And Dave, this gets back to your question about Democrats and Republicans. When it comes to this issue, I'm not that mad at my Republican friends for doing this. And you know what? Democrats tried to do similar things with our initiative petition process in the 80s, and John Ashcroft, the governor, stopped them because it comes back to us as voters. This initiative petition proposal that's being passed by the legislature does absolutely nothing unless or until voters approve it. We get the chance as voters to decide if we want this proposal in November of 2026 or August, whichever ballot the governor puts it on. Next year, we get to decide if we want this. Nothing happens until then. If we decide we want it, it's on us.
Yeah, I wonder why anyone would want this. It seems like it would make it pretty much impossible for us as voters to change state law.
Well, I totally agree with that. I absolutely agree with that position. And that is what I'll be trying to convince voters of, over the next however many months, over the next year, as this heads to the ballot, that of course, I don't think voters would want this. And pendulums do swing. There will be other times where, we're one side's back in charge that isn't in charge right now. And that's exactly what happened in the 80s. John Ashcroft, Republican governor, that's why he vetoed that legislation and said, look, the pendulum's going to swing. Republicans had a super minority in the 80s. They now have a super majority. That's what happens. And so the idea that anybody would want somebody else in the other part of the state, a small group, half of 1 congressional district, to veto what the rest of the state wants just doesn't make sense. I mean, something could pass with as much as 78% of the vote statewide and still fail. It's nonsensical.
Anything, Wheels? Wheels is good. All right. That's Representative Ian Mackey. Thank you, Ian. We appreciate it as always.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
Ian doesn't think it's going to get better.
I mean, so this is the hard part because none of us have lived through this. True. I mean, as adults, right? Yeah. Like some of the people that are, again, old people that are, my parents' age-ish, a little younger, a little older, certainly lived through the 60s. And the 60s was super crazy. Cold War, Cuban Missile Crisis, political murders, president killed, civil unrest all across the country, anti-war. I mean, that was crazy. And it stopped. Does that mean this will stop? Doesn't prove it, but it leads me to believe at some point it'll stop. I mean, we've gone through these cycles quite a few different times. I mean, I don't know. It's a great question. I wish I had the historical chops to know what did stop it, but I mean, it may just be everything ran out of fuel.
Or a new generation took over and was tired of it.
That's, you know what? That's probably the better bet. Yeah, good point.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra, is back. Next stop, Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill in Arnold, Thursday, September 18th. A limited number of fans can get an autographed picture from City SC player Timo Baumgartl. Win great prizes, enjoy great food and a cold drink.
Hi, this is Timo Baumgartl of St. Louis City. I'm looking forward to meeting you at the Hot Shots in Arnold, September 18th for the next soccer showcase. See you soon.
For more info, KMOX.com/events.
The Musial Awards celebrates its 20th year on Saturday, November 22nd at Stiefel Theater. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event hosted right here in St. Louis. It's a night to be entertained and inspired. Tickets at musialawards.com.
So I remember it was the day after Christmas when Nick was about 15 years old, and he woke me up at about 2 in the morning. My stomach hurts. Let's take some Pepto-Bismol. A couple hours later, my stomach still hurts. We went to the ER. He had an appendicitis, had to have surgery. And at that moment, everything stopped. Nothing mattered to me at all other than my child was, in need of surgery. The simplest kind of surgery, nothing like orthopedic, but still let your child going under general anesthetic. So if your child should go down during a soccer game and be unconsolably crying because they may have ripped an ACL or an MCL, or it could be you. If you need a really great orthopedic surgeon who's also a really great person, which matters, if you haven't met a surgeon that doesn't have the God complex, you need to meet more surgeons because it's pretty prevalent out there. Corey's very cool, a little bit of a goofball even. He's like a funny, affable guy. He's going to make you feel comfortable. Not a goofball in the OR. Really, really great surgeon. He is with the Midwest Orthopedic and Spine Specialist. You can call him at 636-231-5881 or Solman. That's SOLMAN, SolmanOrthopedics.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Setting goals for retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
For tips on building a better nest egg, tune in to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All, Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX. You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
Hey guys, Glover here for Universal Windows Direct. Fall is the perfect season to tackle those home improvement projects before the weather turns cold. And if your windows are old, drafty, or just plain inefficient, now's the time to finally do something about it. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit whether you need 4 or 14, you only pay for half. And to make it even easier, you'll get 0% financing for 3 years, so no interest, no pressure. So don't wait for the first freeze to realize your windows aren't cutting it. Call 314-334-2522 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 149 Thursday. Wheels, good time to pivot. Let's talk about the kids' sports topic that you brought up today. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a big article on youth sports specialization that is in The Athletic today, and it's a really interesting thing. It doesn't focus as much on baseball, basketball, football, as typically we think about it. It started off And Rachel, you'll be curious about this because it started off with a story about Yannick Sinner, who credits some of his ability as a tennis player to the fact that he was a skier when he was a kid and he played other sports. But then at 13 was sent basically to go live at a place where this famous tennis coach in Italy kind of groomed him to be what he is now. But there's always this conversation around youth sports in the United States about specializing in one sport and how, one, it's bad for an athlete to pick one too early and just do one, right? You shouldn't be doing the same repetitive physical activities for 8, 9, 10 months in a row without changing it up, which is why so many people, like smart people, say, hey, yeah, all kids should play as many sports as they can for as long as they can. But yet we keep coming up to this conversation like people don't know this. And you get a headline like you have on this story, which is basically parents, quote, fear their kids being left behind in sports if they don't commit to specializing at a young age. And what I wanted to bring up on this is the responsibility that parents have to learn. This information is readily available for free. You just have to look. There's nothing to fear when you have the information that you need. So what I don't like is this couching of, well, it's scary for parents who want their kids to play sports. It's only scary if you don't do the legwork. Because if you just put in a Google search, should young athletes play multiple sports, you will find all kinds of peer-reviewed studies, stuff that's put out there by professional sports leagues, really credible information saying, yeah, you should play as many sports as you can for as long as you can. Because it's good. It builds different skill sets. There's a great piece in that story that says, look, even if your kid is a star football player, but not a great basketball player, it can help even psychologically being in that spot of the backup, being in that spot where you're on the bench and you're not the star, but you're still part of the team. And there's a lot that goes into this. But I don't understand why in 2025, this is viewed as a mystery for parents.
Wheels, whenever you say parents are afraid of their kids being left behind, do you mean they're afraid like it's going to hurt their kids' chances of going pro or something?
Each case is different.
Yeah.
Some cases, maybe that's the concern. Maybe it's also scholarships. Maybe it's just high school. I'm sure each parent's goals and priorities and view of it is different. I don't think there's a predominant one of those that plays into it.
Would you say that most travel ball parents are in it for more than just enjoyment?
I'd have to give the same answer. I mean, I think there are some that just want to provide their kids with the best opportunity. Sometimes your kid's friends play travel ball and you want your kid to play with his friends, and that's what you do. There are others that like, all right, no, this is an investment. We think this can be a college scholarship. We think, hey, look, the kid's very gifted. Maybe he will have a chance someday. Even if you know the odds are low, you still want to provide that opportunity for your kid just in case, right? I mean, you got 750 examples of exceptions playing in the major leagues, right? Not even counting the thousands that are getting paychecks to play in the minor leagues. So they exist, and people do kind of view that. But I also think that people on the outside of this are overly judgmental about those motivations because everybody's motivations are different. For some people, the motivation is, I just want my kid to enjoy playing the sport. And he enjoys it when he's playing with his friends, or he enjoys it when he's good because someday he wants to be a starter on the varsity high school team. And I've had kids that have worked with me that have spent countless hours training in private lessons with that as the goal. I just want to start on my varsity team so that when I'm a senior, I can be an everyday player and have a good time with my friends. I don't want to play in college, but I want to get better to do this. The motivations are all over the place, but people on the outside tend to look at it all, whether it's volleyball, and I know baseball, but it's no different in volleyball, tennis, football, gymnastics. Like, it's the same dynamic, right? Mm-hmm. And the most important thing that gets missed in the conversation is that parents need to take the responsibility of learning some things. When your kid's getting into sports, do that quick Google search. Talk to some people that are involved in sports. There's no reason to fear these things when the information that could calm those fears is literally 10 seconds away on your computer screen, which is why I wanted to talk about this. Because, in my work, people ask us these things all the time. In my coaching side, people ask us these things all the time. Do I need to specialize? Is it okay to play? Every smart coach in every sport will tell you, play as many sports as you can until people start telling you you're not good enough to play it anymore. And then that's maybe, so like my example, I played 3 sports in high school until I was not good enough to play 3 sports, right? I got to sophomore year. I wasn't good enough for basketball anymore. So that one got knocked off the list. I stopped running cross country because I hated it. I did it just for basketball because I wanted to be in good shape for basketball. Well, then I got focused on one sport and everything then became about that sport. I wanted to gain weight, lift weights, get stronger, do all that stuff. Well, I didn't make that choice. It was made for me at that level. And sometimes that's how it goes. And sometimes that happens to people earlier. Might happen when you're 13, not good enough to play basketball anymore.
That's why I stopped modeling.
See, you get it.
Well, they said you're taking away too many opportunities from the other male models.
Eventually, they just kept saying to me, "You're not that attractive."
Oh, well, so I got that. All kinds of sports, though.
Let me tell you guys about Lombardo Homes and tell you specifically about the towns of Lindeman Park. And I think I said this yesterday, that being the age I am now, I am nowhere near looking for a facility of any kind, even an independent living or a 55-plus community. But I would jump at the opportunity to not have a big yard to take care of and not have to do all this maintenance. And this is what the townhomes of Lindeman can do for you through Lombardo Homes.
Yeah, the floor plans feature 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a loft, 2-car attached garages, plus amazing community amenities like a clubhouse, a pool, pickleball courts. The list goes on. You can check out the towns of Lindeman Park and tour the newly decorated display and see if maybe this could be your new home. To learn more, just visit lombardohomes.com. While you're there, you can also check out their Build on Your Lot program called Anywhere Lombardo. That website, again, is lombardohomes.com.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
The Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now matters more than ever because now we have new treatments that could change everything. This is Megan Lynch. Join me Saturday, October 25th at the Chesterfield Amphitheater for the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's the region's largest fundraiser to fight dementia and support those living with the disease because now is the time for action. You can join in the fight by registering for the walk at alz.org/walk. That's alz.org/walk.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-810-3588. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-810-3588. 800-810-3588. 800-810-3588.
This is Kyle Bush with Crinch Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Life changes, divorce, loss of a loved one, or an inheritance. It can be overwhelming. We provide the resources, long-standing support, and thoughtful guidance you need to plan ahead. With our help and experience, you don't have to navigate these transitions alone. You can move forward with greater clarity and confidence. Your goals, Our mission, start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet within 125 miles. We're closer than you think. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
104.1 FM, KMOX. News, talk, sports. Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Breaking News. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, we've got sunshine. It's 87 degrees downtown at the Arch. The former Speaker of the Missouri House is pleading guilty to hundreds of thousands of dollars of pandemic loan fraud.
Jeeps, Teslas, Audis, country club fees, credit cards, his mortgage, college tuition for a family member, pool maintenance, and more. That's what former Missouri House Speaker John Deal pled guilty to fraudulently using COVID relief funds towards instead of his business as it was intended. According to prosecutors, he defrauded the federal government of $379,000 of money through the CARES Act from the Small Business Administration. Deal is set to be sentenced on December 19th. He faces up to 20 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. Outside the federal courthouse, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
A fire department cadaver dog has been brought to the scene of the 5600 block of Labadie, where police are investigating the discovery of human remains. The entire lot is roped off. Homicide detectives and the medical examiner's office are on the scene.
CBS News special report. The FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information about the suspect in yesterday's killing of Charlie Kirk. And authorities in Utah released photos of a person of interest. CBS's Anna Schechter.
Very distinct photo. You can see a long sleeve black shirt with a logo on the front, dark pants. It looks like jeans. The individual is wearing sunglasses and a baseball cap. So that poses a little bit of a challenge.
President Trump paid tribute to Kirk today during a 9/11 ceremony at the Pentagon. Jennifer Jacobs reports the administration is also assisting the family.
Officials told CBS News that Vice President J.D. Vance traveled to Salt Lake City to retrieve Kirk's casket and will transport it to Phoenix on the vice presidential aircraft, along with Kirk's family and some of his closest friends.
CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
AI chatbots get the attention of federal authorities.
The Federal Trade Commission is asking several social media and artificial intelligence companies about the potential harms to children and teenagers who use their AI chatbots as companions. The FTC has sent letters to companies including Google parent Alphabet Incorporated and Facebook and Instagram parent Meta Platforms.
2 vacant lots on Broadway become the next pocket parks in the city of St. Louis.
A pocket park is exactly what it sounds like. It's a small park, usually in an urban setting.
Samantha Smagala with the group Pocket Park says the 2 new pocket parks will be in the Baden neighborhood and the Marine Villa neighborhood.
They really build community. They help with safety and security. The more people that are around a space, the safer it is. And it can even lead to some organic traction and economic development and more people wanting to be in that space.
Pocket Parks is teaming up with the STL Vacancy Collaborative. Volunteers are invited to help prepare garden beds, plant, and water in Marine Villa September 20th and Baden on October 11th. The KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by the Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. The Dow from Stifel up 587 points to 46,078. They've just cleared a vehicle fire 44 West at the Business Loop at Six Flags. Also cleared out some debris on 6440 just past 270 going east. There is still some debris on 70 East at Shreve to watch out for there.
Summertime in St. Louis making a comeback, all about sunshine this afternoon. 92 for the high. Let's call it moderate humidity. Humidity's coming back, though. Tonight, clear skies, 67. Friday, sunny, hot, and humid, 95 in the afternoon. Saturday, sunny and 96. Sunday, partly sunny, maybe an isolated thunderstorm Sunday afternoon, but tough to find at 95. These temps well above average, but short of any records. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's 87 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. A couple times a week, we have attorney Brad Young join us, and he joins us now. Hello, Brad.
Hey, Dave.
So, Brad, before we jump into the legal cases we're going to talk about, I want to get your thoughts and views on the events of yesterday.
Well, I don't know that my thoughts on this, Dave, are any different than what most people would say. It's abhorrent. It shouldn't have happened. Doesn't matter whether it would be Charlie Kirk that was shot or some comparable person on the left that gets shot. We need to be able to have political discourse in this country and disagree, but disagree in an amicable way. And we don't need this kind of action. And the other thing that occurs to me, and I'll make this quick, is that this is one of those areas where I think that 85 to 90% of the country can be in agreement on, whether it's Charlie Kirk or if Bernie Sanders were shot. Okay, I'm just trying to pick people on both ends of the spectrum here. Either way, we don't want political violence. And only the fringe elements on either end of the political spectrum, which, by the way, reminds me that I learned in political science classes in college, my major, that the political spectrum is not a linear line, but is actually a circle. And that when it's a circle, those on the fringe are more alike than they are different. And I think we see that now. You can have radical people on the right that want to do damage, you want to hurt people. You can have radical people on the left that want to do damage and hurt people. And when you remember that it's a circle and not a linear line, it helps to understand what motivates these types of people.
Brad, I gave supposition, sort of a hypothesis at the beginning of the show, and it's nothing new. A lot of people have said this, but my theory is that this was done to us. I don't think that the big media and the political parties back in the late 90s or early 2000s said, let's ruin the country and get a lot of people injured and killed. But I do think that the 24-hour news cycle figured out that giving us all blue and red jerseys was going to get more eyeballs on the screen. And I think the political parties took advantage of it as well. And now it seems to have gotten away from them. What do you think of that theory?
Well, not only are you 100% correct on that, Dave, that's been a theory that I've articulated for the better part of the last 20 years, that these 24-hour networks, whether it's Fox News, whether it's MSNBC, that it creates this tribalism type mentality where the news reporting only feeds to affirm someone's predetermined political bias and filter out all of the conflicting information. By doing that, it does create eyeballs. Look at Fox News. I think Fox News right now is the highest rated news program in the country. I'm not dishing it. I'm not dissing it. God bless them. They're making money. But the point being is that does contribute, just like MSNBC, that contributes to this tribalism mentality. And we're seeing the unintended consequences to yesterday, and unfortunately probably will in the future, the unintended consequence of those actions.
To what degree, Brad, do you have hope for our grandkids? I don't think it's going to change in the next 5 years. I don't think it's going to change in the next 10 years. I just had Representative Ian Mackey on from the State House, and he said he doesn't have much optimism at all, even in the next 20 years.
Well, I don't have a great deal of optimism that this kind of violence is going to disappear, but the optimism that I do have stems from the fact that, unlike on any other political issue, when we're talking about politically motivated violence, 90% of the country is in agreement. Whether they're on the right or whether they're on the left, the vast majority of all people are going to agree that this is bad. And there's not many things today in this country that we can all agree on, but that's one of them. And I don't think that the isolated, even if it becomes more frequent, but the isolated events by those on the fringe right or those on the fringe left doesn't detract from the fact that 90% of us are united in saying that this is wrong and this shouldn't happen.
We're talking to attorney Brad Young, who joins us on the DGS a couple times a week. Let's go through some of these cases, Brad. Trump administration appeals ruling blocking removal of a Fed Governor Cook.
Yeah, this is interesting because remember, President Trump's position is that Lisa Cook, who was appointed to the Federal Board of Governors, very, very important position, alleged that she's committed fraud because she owned two different residencies and she claimed them both to be her primary residency. And this occurred before she was ever a Fed governor. So the judge, I believe it was on Tuesday of this week, basically issued an injunction here stating that the Trump administration could not remove her from the Board of Federal Governors, or the Federal Reserve Governors rather, because in the statute under the Federal Reserve Act, it only allows for the removal of a Fed governor, quote, for cause, unquote. And the judge stated that for cause means something that the Fed governor does while being a Fed governor. And since this action, whether it was illegal or not illegal, occurred before she was a Fed governor, that cannot be the basis for removal. So the Trump administration has already filed an appeal of that. We'll have to see how the courts deal with it. Frankly, here's how I see it's going to work out. I see either Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court basically dismissing this entire action, stating that the Fed governor can stay on the Board of Governors. However, stating that the basis for the dismissal is some minuscule procedural problem that basically allows the Supreme Court to not make a decision on the issue, while at the same time leaving Lisa Cook on the Board of Federal Governors.
Brad, just for edification of the audience out there, and you know a lot more about the Supreme Court than I do you think that that's typical, that they look for the, I don't want to say easiest, like they're intellectually lazy. I don't think that, but they don't like taking things on and going straight to the pulp or the nectar.
Oh, 100%. You learned that in law school, Dave. That's not something new. That's always been in the fabric of the Supreme Court, that if they can decide an issue, a controversy that's directly in front of them, if they can decide it without establishing some type of overall precedent that later may be subject to review or change or modification, they're going to do that. They're going to take the most minuscule procedural problem way out to dismiss a case to avoid deciding it, not because they don't want to make a decision, but from the Supreme Court's perspective, they don't want to issue an opinion, like Brown versus Board of Education that said separate but equal was okay, and then it takes years and years and years later to get something like that overturned. Or actually, it was Plessy versus Ferguson was overturned by Brown versus Board of Education. But my point being is they try to stay away from these huge decisions if at all possible.
In the next case, in a lawsuit, 3 former FBI leaders say that they were fired for insufficient loyalty.
Yeah, and if any of this is true, it sounds bad, but I don't know that there's much of a legal recourse. What happened is that 3 senior FBI officials, one of them was briefly the head of the FBI. He was the acting FBI director, but 3 of them are alleging in their lawsuit that Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, basically just came to him and said, listen, you guys were involved in investigating the January 6th case. We got to fire you. We just can't have you being in the FBI when you are investigating the sitting president as a result of the January 6th incident. So got to let you go. So they filed a lawsuit, but unfortunately, because they're FBI agents, I don't really see a good cause of action here for them unless they can show that they were whistleblowers. That they released some information that showed internal wrongdoing, and that's why they were fired. Then they can actually win some money and get their jobs back. But otherwise, I don't really see a good cause of action here where they can recover anything against the government.
Okay. All right. Brad is great as always. Really appreciate it. I always feel smarter after talking to you.
Well, my pleasure, Dave, as always, my friend.
Okay.
I feel dumber.
Do you?
Because I realize how much I don't know.
Yeah.
But you went to law school, so
Yeah, but
a little
you know,
different vibe.
What's interesting about that, and I mean this completely sincerely, being a lawyer is not monolithic. You know, everyone's different. Some people are flashy, some people are studious, some people are courtroom lawyers, some people are office lawyers. But when I talk to Brad, I realize one of the reasons I didn't make it as a lawyer.
Sure.
Yeah, it's sort of like playing baseball with you. You're a better baseball player than me. And when I play with you, I'm like, oh, okay, I see the difference. And it's a compliment to Brad. Like he's right down the middle, man.
He's damn good at his job.
He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was a wig and heels. I was an empty suit.
I was a wig and heels.
And usually I made it based on my sexuality.
Dave is back to the modeling thing again.
Yes. Everything's come to me because of my looks, including this show.
A radio show that started when there were no cameras in studios.
Well, now that I'm on camera,
now
you
of
see
course,
people
yeah.
going crazy.
Now it's like, no wonder. No wonder.
We know what you're doing back
That's
there.
why you got that 12-year contract.
Funny. One more thing about the shooting yesterday, and this is interesting factually, and it's interesting on a bigger scale. I go to Drudge all the time, and I always figure if there's something big, I'll see it there. And most of the morning, the big, giant, all capitals, red headline with a siren was that the gun they found and the ammunition had some etchings of pro-trans and anti-fascist stuff. And that may be the case, but Wheels, you said that some of the authorities have come out and said, hold your horses.
The ATF, yeah. the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. So the people that investigate crime scenes said they do not have that information. Like that's not part of what their initial reports showed. And also pointed this out, though, that even from their perspective in the ATF, the people conducting the investigation, that these things move really fast. And sometimes it's not what you think it is. You might make a mistake on what the letter means, or it may not be a letter at all. This is always why when these stories happen, regardless of what it is, right? This is a one person shooting another person. Obviously, we've had school shootings. We have all these other issues. It's okay to let the people that are really good at investigating finish the investigation before we start throwing things out there.
I agree. And that's why I'm so disappointed. I feel like the report originated from the Wall Street Journal. That's who
yeah.
I mean, come on. You're the Wall Street Journal. You are better than that. And what I was saying to you guys before we went on the air today, I don't understand the point of reporting that there was certain ideology inscribed on this stuff unless you're going to tell us exactly what it says.
True.
Because that comes across as like, oh, we got something real juicy for you. We can't tell you what it is yet, but you just know you should
So
be
you
mad.
guys just run crazy.
Yeah, just go ahead and get as riled up as possible and click on our page as much as you possibly can. And we get what we want.
Yep.
Whether or not this is actually true. I mean, from the moment I heard that, I was like, okay, so well, what did it say? And then when I couldn't find what it said, I became extremely suspicious at that point.
Yeah.
I think we could have some developments, and that's strictly me watching the scroll on CNN. But I guess the FBI is saying that we're not going to have any further press conferences because things are developing rapidly. So read into that what you will.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade. Dana Carvey. Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
Tell you guys about Underdog Fantasy app. You can, if you're a sports fan, because I think this really applies to sports fans, because you have to know a little bit about something, right? When I was playing Underdog over the summer, I was playing almost exclusively baseball, a little bit of hockey back during the spring, and mostly Cardinals because I don't know the Brewers and I'm not that guy. I don't know the A's. So I was, saying that, well, I think that Sonny Gray is going to have more strikeouts than 4.5 strikeouts. I think Brendan Donovan is going to have more than 1.5 bases during this game. And I did pretty well. I wasn't putting a lot down, so you're not getting a lot back, but you can win up to 5,000 times your bet, and you can play as little as $1 for football. All you have to do is just choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. So it's very easy. You guys know me pretty well. I don't like to do things I'm not good at, and I'm not good at apps, and this one was really user-friendly. Download the app today, sign up with promo code Glover, and score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. Must be 18 and present in Missouri. Terms apply. Go to assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play. Get terms _DFS_HTML. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Vira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. We have our pal Ricky Horton joining us at the bottom of the hour. Janelle will be here at the top of the hour to talk about movies and such. Mike Elam will be here at 4. I'm sure he will have thoughts on yesterday's events. I saw last night, of course, I'm TikToking and everything is dark and everything's this and that. And then I see one with just this guy and he says, "Why aren't we all just constantly making out with each other?" And it really made me laugh. He's like, "We're all going to die. We only have so much time. Why aren't we just making out with everyone we see on the street?"
Well,
oh man, that's funny.
Not everyone stirs that desire within you, I suppose. I mean, that's probably the first reason why.
Speak for yourself. Razor's Edge?
Sure. kind of keeping with the theme of the day, I have a feeling I know how you guys are going to answer this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you guys think that the world is getting worse? And if so, what leads you to believe this? And then I have some evidence that other people have given as a sign that the world is getting worse.
All right, I've been talking. I know it's my show, but I've been talking too much today. So, Wheels, Andrew, you guys go first.
It's, oh boy, like I don't want to have a bunch of negativity come out of my stupid mouth, but it's really hard. It's really hard to look at the state of the world and be like, I don't know, I think we're on an upswing. You know what I mean? Like it just consistently, it just seems like one bad thing after another, like compounding. We have nothing. I mean, and I'm not just talking about, nationwide. It's just worldwide. It just feels like tensions are rising, to say the least. And what's up, Rach?
I was just going to jump in and say a lot of people agree with where you're coming from. I saw this thread on Reddit and I thought it was so good because people were basically chiming in with the biggest signs that they believe the world is getting worse. The number one answer I thought was so apt. It says, the truth doesn't matter and kindness is seen as weakness.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And this is something I wouldn't have agreed with maybe 10 years ago. But within the past 10 years, it does feel like we have made this societal shift to where, like, actually, I get to decide what is true. And if someone is the bigger person, they've already lost because there's no reward for being the bigger person. You're actually like a chump if you're the bigger person most of the time.
That I think that's a real thing.
Yeah. And that's the perfect word to use too.
I also think that we could improve the world with a couple of simple things. I'm speaking for Americans now. One, mind your own business. Let's get back to minding our own damn business and right-sizing things. That, look, I'm pretty, I think, complex and maybe contradictory in my politics. I believe this, I believe that, I don't believe this, I don't believe that. But I think we exaggerate our quote unquote opponents' effects on our lives, right? Like, I'm fine with gay people, but if I weren't, what's Ian Mackey doing to me? Nothing.
I always do wonder the people who are like super outspoken against like the LGBTQ community. How many of those folks do you actually know? Like, how many of those folks are actually in your life? Because often when people from that community are in your life, that softens you and it makes you go like, oh, you're just a human like me. Like, this is not a big deal.
Or very religious people. I'm not very religious. I disbelieve a lot of things that you do. But what are you doing to me? Nothing. As long as you're just living your life and doing your thing and teaching your kids about Jesus and living according to the gospel, that it's zero skin off my nose.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, and it's sort of related, we have to stop shoving our opinions down each other's throats. It's one thing, and that's one thing. I know a lot of people won't like me saying this, and I'm not saying it to curry favor with the right. I mean it. Charlie Kirk didn't mean much to me. Like, I got him mixed up with Fuentes and Shapiro and guys like that. I've not consumed a lot of his stuff, so I'm a little bit ignorant on this. But I do respect that he was going to college campuses and debating people openly. I respect that. And the last thing you should be doing when you get shot in the neck is exercising your free speech.
At 5, when others are running out of steam, the Redbird Rush Hour hits the gas. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Miklasz bring sharp analysis, fresh insight, and no recycled takes. Real baseball talk for fans who know the game. Redbird Rush Hour, weekdays at 5 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, the unrivaled voice of baseball.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath,
Here's another satisfied customer of 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, Anita Bennett.
When I first heard about 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, I thought, there's no way they could do a good job in 3 days, and they must carry only the plain Jane basics in cabinets, countertops, and flooring. Then they came to our house, and we found out they offered top quality materials with tons of choices and lots of custom options. They worked with us to design a bathroom that was perfect for our family. They looked at our needs and thought of details I hadn't even considered. The installation was clean, thorough, and professional, and they were done in just 3 days. When we got back from the hotel, I couldn't believe the difference. The bathroom is beautiful.
See us on the web at 3daykitchen.com.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
We can get more sleep, we can get more sun, and we can get more exercise, but the one thing we can't get more of is time. It's time to eliminate the one phrase that could be holding you back from reaching your retirement goals. I'll take care of it tomorrow. It's time to pick up the phone and make the call to Gary Goldberg and the team at Financial and Tax Strategies, 314-991-9005, or online at checkwithgary.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial, Inc., an FFC registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Gary Goldberg, NPN number 918-615.
Let's check in with Dave Murray's weather forecast.
Summertime in St. Louis making a comeback, all about sunshine this afternoon. 92 for the high. Let's call it moderate humidity. Humidity's coming back, though. Tonight, clear skies, 67. Friday, sunny, hot, and humid, 95 in the afternoon. Saturday, sunny and 96. Sunday, partly sunny, maybe an isolated thunderstorm Sunday afternoon, but tough to find at 95. These temps well above average, but short of any records. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has brought cheers to their fans for decades with the best styles, cutting-edge tech, and good old family values. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Just taking a look at my personalized savings on my Schnucks Rewards app. If you are a Schnucks shopper, I highly encourage you to download the Schnucks Rewards app if you haven't already. I've been using it for years, and it's kind of changed the way I grocery shop, but definitely in a good way. I use the app to make my grocery list. I use it to find out what's on sale that week. And then, like I said, the personalized savings, this is so cool. These are savings on items that I buy the most. So this is curated by Schnucks. These are the items I'm buying the most at Schnucks. If they're on sale, Schnucks is going to let me know, and I know, oh, I should pick that up this week. I can stock up. It's just very convenient, very nice, like having a assistant to help with your grocery shopping. And I know sometimes things can just pile up and things get overwhelming. Schnucks really created this app to make your life easier and to save you money. You earn 2% cash back on every single thing you purchase, plus those personalized savings and other digital offers and coupons. Go download it today. It's the Schnucks Rewards app.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
Are moles tearing up your yard? Don't let these lawn invaders turn your beautiful property into a mess. Rottler Pest Solutions offers professional mole control services to protect your lawn from damage. Visit Rottler.com today to schedule your free inspection.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. If you or someone you know has a home to sell, call Gloria Liu. That's right, Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is here with me now. And when it comes to St. Louis area market conditions, what advice do you have for home sellers in today's market?
Well, most importantly, I understand every seller's situation is different. Some sellers need to sell, and some sellers want to sell. And a lot of my sellers are looking to buy, and they also have a home to sell. My advice in this uncertain market is to get an upfront written guarantee. That way, you know exactly how much you stand to make with your home sale. My guarantee sale offer is simple. I'll sell your home at 100% of market value, or I'll pay you the difference.
Take it from me, Debbie Monterey. Sell with certainty and an upfront written guarantee with Gloria Liu. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
The Chiefs, the Eagles, this Sunday. Pregame at 2, kickoff at 3:25.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
You can hear it all on 97.1 FM Talk.
Our conversation with Ricky Horton is brought to you by Goodwill. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Time to talk to our pal Ricky Horton. Hey, Rick.
I tell I was been kind of up all night, so I don't really know where am I, who am I, where am I going?
Oh no, were you up doing something fun?
Well, I was on a plane up until we got in at 6:30 in the morning, which I know nobody cares about. I mean, it's the big league, so it's not like we're being treated poorly, but it's part of the deal of playing a night game on the West Coast, and then having extra innings, and then flying back to Milwaukee. So we got in. 1 minute, exactly 1 minute before sunrise, we pulled into the hotel.
I think that sounds bad. I feel for you.
Yeah,
but we have an off day today, and we're not sleeping out in the street. I mean, it's all good, but it's just part of the deal. I tell you this: I wouldn't want to play a baseball game today or tomorrow. I mean, I can talk about it. I can talk about it, but I wouldn't want to play it.
Yeah, that was. That's not a great outcome on a getaway night, starting an 8:40 game with a 3-hour and 45-minute game that went 13 innings.
And how can such a great game have such a bad ending? I mean, we've had a few of those, haven't we, guys? I mean, think about some. I mean, that actually was a lot of intrigue in that game, a lot of fun, a lot of extra innings, tension, and Riley O'Brien pitching in his hometown against his former team, with the bases loaded, nobody out. I mean, that's cool stuff what he did last night. But, honestly, you still want to win. And to see the Cardinals lose all three in Seattle while the Mets lost all three, and to think where we could have been today and where we're not is hard.
So I, as you guys both know, listen with great interest to all of you guys who actually know what you're talking about, and I consume it and I file it away. And something struck me last night watching the game, and I wanted to run this by you guys. And I'm not trying to be funny. It seems pretty simple, and I'm wondering how much this is Cardinals, how much this is every team, and how much it's just sports. But it seems that with a couple notable exceptions, our guys who can hit can't field great, and our guys who are great fielders don't hit great.
I think there's a fair, that is fair. I think that's a fair assessment. I think there are guys that are kind of good at both, but here's what the other deal. I think even beyond that, Dave, none of our guys can slug great. And when you say hit great, and there's two things to say about that. One is, is Burleson hit great? Well, he's 7th in the National League in batting. Does he have 50 home runs? No. I mean, he's actually pretty good at hitting home runs, but we don't have the big boppers right now, and the game kind of requires that. So when that's why, you go 2 for 22 with runners in scoring position like they did yesterday. No, they weren't hitting yesterday. Yes, that's a fact. And, it's the conundrum of baseball. Here's the other, beyond that, Dave, I would say there are times where guys hit well and they are not fielding well. And then there are times where that same guy is fielding well and not hitting well. I mean, it's just the nature of performance that it's just hard to stay consistent. It really is.
It all of that combines, Ricky, for what is really interesting about this team is you have a lot of good players. You have a lot of people that can do things, but the puzzle pieces don't necessarily fit together precisely.
Yeah. We had some great, first sergeants, but you need the lieutenant, you need the general, you need the guy, and that's kind of where we are. And every force needs good first sergeants, but there has to be something that drives you, something that you're playing in a game like yesterday. and there's some force, some presence in your clubhouse, some presence on your team that just compels you to win that game somehow. And that's got to be a player too. I mean, the coaches do what they do, and they do a lot, but players still have to kind of own it and just find a way to win. And they just did not find a way to win in Seattle.
And it was a tough series, man. We talked about it at the beginning, Ricky, and we, Bernie and Matt and I talked about it on Redbird Rush Hour. And you faced three guys in Seattle, three starting pitchers that, I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just saying their top four starters could all be number ones on the Cardinals and other teams, a lot of other teams. So, you knew that was going to be tough, and which is why the strikeouts don't worry me that much, and the offensive thing doesn't worry me that much, especially when one of your best all-around guys in Brendan Donovan's still not back yet. But they're hard ones to swallow because they're so close, right? I mean, you're there, you got it, you feel like it's there, and then it gets away.
So I'm trying to, in my mind, I'm trying to get over the, losing 3 games there I'm trying to flip it. I don't feel it yet, but I think that there's an argument that you can say that, look, the starting staff that you just talked about, plus a lineup that's pretty top from top to bottom with the Mariners. They got better at the trading deadline. They have home runs galore. This is a really good lineup and they actually defend pretty well. So you put all those things together, and the Cardinals lost 3 close games to them. So maybe the positive is to say, you're not light years away from being good. You're just a few pieces away that could have turned that series around and maybe the season around. Maybe the season would be different if you had those 2 or 3 guys that, were centerpiece guys that you're building around that are high level performers that other teams seem to have right now.
Ricky, when you look around the National League, because you've seen everybody by now, in person for the most part, and if not, pretty close to it. What strikes you? Because to me, it's a fascinating league because you start off and you have the $350 million Dodgers that were supposed to be light years ahead of everybody, and they're not. They're the 4th best team in the National League. And, the Brewers are the best team with a tiny little payroll. Phillies are kind of what you expect, but they lost Zach Wheeler, and that's going to be interesting. The Cubs are good, but, Tucker just went on the injured list, and they've been kind of up and down for a while now. And then you got the Mets with their $300 million payroll, and they can't get out of their own way right now.
So, some of those teams you just mentioned, the Cubs and the Mets would be one of them that would be in that category of just inconsistent team. They have some ability, but no ability to do it every day. The Dodgers have flash, but maybe not depth in terms of having enough good players that you can overcome, if Betts is having a bad day or a bad week or a bad year. And so that's in that category. The Brewers just have a bunch of baseball players. I mean, and I don't even know how to describe what I just said. But they're just,
I know what you mean, though.
Players,
yeah.
They make of the basketball equivalent or the player that just always seems to do the right thing, and then he's around other guys doing the right thing, and all of a sudden you got a team. And I think that's what they have become. Somehow they have figured out how that works. Now they can also pitch well, but I think you just have to have that it factor. And the Cardinals, I think, have been searching for an it factor this year, and they haven't quite found it yet. I would say this about the Cardinals: what guy would you intentionally walk to pitch to somebody else? Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, barring a severe split for my pitcher, right? Like barring, I got a lefty who's terrible against righties, but there's nobody. Yeah. Who
would you like to intentionally walk on the Mariners? Raleigh,
J-Rod,
Suarez, J-Rod, Rosarena. Just 4 of them. That's it. But you got to pitch to somebody.
Yeah, it is an interesting thing. And speaking of Milwaukee, they don't have crazy power. Like Christian Yelich is going to have a 30 homer season. That's pretty good. Right. Obviously, he's battled back problems, so really don't. That's why it hasn't been there in recent years. But what they have, Ricky, is depth of these kind of productive players that are 18 to 23 home runs. Yeah. But you know what? They're also super athletic. They steal bases. Like I think they have 8 guys with double digits in steals. 8 guys.
So nobody's lining up to say, boy, Turang's my favorite player, or Frelick is my favorite player, or T. I mean, but those guys are really good players.
Turang's going to be a 2020 guy this year.
He is, and so I mean, they're producing, and they actually. It's funny, they let them weather the storm a little bit because there's enough good players around them. They were winning when Turang wasn't hitting.
That's right.
That's right. They were winning when Churio was a mess at one point. So there is something to say for sometimes just the flow happens. You've got the mojo going, and I think Yelich is part of it, because I would have told you 2 years ago that Yelich was almost done.
Yeah,
with his back.
yeah.
I thought his swing was terrible. You could easily pitch to him, but I mean, I give him a lot of credit for making the kind of comeback he has.
What do we know about Mason Wynn? I didn't realize that he had a meniscus tear.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe I just don't understand meniscus tears, but my Lord, how's he still out there doing it?
Well, the meniscus tear, I think I've had one for a long time. My wife had one, had it repaired. It hurts, but not always. That's the way I would describe it.
Right.
And the way Ollie was described, because Ollie described it at length to us, he's basically had it since June. So it's not news. You don't want to overly, I guess they didn't want to overly talk about it too much just for reasons of competitive stuff. But Mason was kind of can play through it, but when he has to slow down and stop really fast, it's jarring on his knee and it hurts that. It's like just a small tear, like a small little cartilage tear. Meniscus is what it is. And they can repair that, and you walk out of the place. So it's not like it's a big, nasty thing. And the other thing Ollie's saying about it is when you play, it doesn't really get worse. It's just there. So you play to tolerance, and he's going to get it fixed at the end of the year. And, he wants to play, so I give him credit for that. He wants to play as often as he can, but when you can get a little extra rest on it, it's good. So, that hasn't been the best thing for the Cardinals either.
No, that's the thing. That's the hard part. The challenge of it, right, Ricky, is he wants to play, which is admirable. I love guys that want to post every day. I think that's what you want a ball player to be. And his defense hasn't really suffered for it, but he hasn't hit for 6-7 weeks, and I can't just break that connection in my head. I feel like, when your lower body's not right, it's hard to hit.
Yeah, and you can see that there are times that he runs well and times that he doesn't. Times where you'd say, well, boy, he should be on third, and you realize, well, it kind of locks up on you is the way I would describe it, and it just hurt. I mean, I actually just went on a walk here in Milwaukee, and I got about halfway through, and my knee kind of went, "Uh-oh, that doesn't feel good," and then it goes away. It goes away. Now I don't have to dive in the hole at shortstop and throw somebody out. Thankfully, I don't have to do that. But I think he's it's admirable. Plus, it's admirable in one hand, but it's also, I mean, I don't want to say self-serving, but he has some goals he's looking towards too, like a Gold Glove and maybe even a Platinum Glove by the way he's playing defense. And if you don't play the last 3 weeks, that's probably not good.
Assuming that he finishes the season and he finishes strong, what level of travesty is it if he doesn't get the glove?
Oh boy, I would be disappointed because his numbers are really good, Dave. I think he's got the defensive run save thing, or outs above average is actually the one that's off the charts, and so I think he deserves to be the Gold Glove winner, and I'd be very disappointed if he wasn't.
He's got the old and the new school, because he's only got 3 errors all year long. He's got a ton of chances, ton of range, and you look at all the metrics. I'll be honest, I'll be irritated. I'd be ticked off if he doesn't win the Gold Glove.
So you and I can grouse together. If it doesn't. Let's hope, all three of us can, but let's hope it doesn't happen and we don't have to worry about that. We can smile over it.
All right, Ricky, get some rest, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Do you know that by donating your gently used items to Goodwill, you're not only giving those items a new life, but you're helping people right here in your community enrich their lives with meaningful work? Your donations support Goodwill's mission of helping people with barriers to employment to be able to get rewarding jobs which provide not only a paycheck, but a very important sense of purpose. Your donations really do change lives. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Cardinals fans, join the conversation at Busch Stadium with some of your favorite former Cardinals. With the Cardinals Conversations presented by Edward Jones, you'll hear from former Cardinals such as Ozzie Smith, Ted Simmons, Ray Langford, David Eckstein, or David Freese. Each conversation hosted by Cardinals announcers Chip Carey or Brad Thompson. Your experience also will include a ticket to the game, a pre-signed photo, and the opportunity to take your photo with the featured player. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/conversations.
So to even be open to Universal Windows Direct as your replacement Windows company, you need to be assured to be peaceful about the fact that they have good Windows. And what I'm about to say, in all fairness, probably applies to most window places. I imagine they have good guarantees as well. But we have a 1-sentence lifetime guarantee. Once you buy our windows, you're never going to pay another dime. Even if you break it yourself, we'll come out and we'll take care of it. We're going to give you a 20-year guarantee that you can pass on to someone who buys your house. I love that one. Right now, it's buy 2 windows, get 2 22 free, 0% financing for 3 years, and $500 off your entire project because you listen to the DGS. That's pretty great. You want to get another bid or another 2 bids? I would, but I think you're going to, I think we're going to be very, very competitive. 314-334-2522 or universalwindowsdirect.com.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at kingdomox.com.
Hey, it's Jeff at Sachs Financial. I got a free event coming up to maximize your Social Security, September 22nd and 23rd. Come meet me in person and find out how to maximize your Social Security. Sign up at retiresafestl.com/events.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Welcome back, DGS 250. Yeah, Wheels just said something so simple but so true that putting aside everything, just the fact that it's been 24 years since 9/11 is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Just crazy.
And it's definitely one of those turning points.
What do you think it is about humans in time? Because you never say to someone, it's Thursday. Boy, it sure feels like a Thursday. We never say that. We're always like, I can't believe it's Thursday. It feels like a Tuesday or it feels like a Saturday. And like 24 years, like I guess there's someone out there who's like, feels exactly like 24 years to me. But we always seem at odds with time.
Yeah. That's because we don't have a great grasp on it. We only have the time that we have. We don't really have the perspective that, what time really has been. When we were talking earlier about the world getting worse? Yeah, it is in our perspective compared to 20 years ago. Is it worse than it was in the Great Depression? I don't know. Like, we don't have that, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that in our heads, and that's how we perceive time.
Yeah.
We have what we've seen and what we know, and that's really all that's the only way we can conceptualize it.
Rach, how old were you?
I was in 5th grade, so I think 2001, I was 10.
That weirds me out.
Tell me your story.
I just remember being in 5th grade, and we didn't have, I was talking with Kurt about this morning because he was talking about how they brought the TVs out for them at his school. We had TVs, but I don't think they were like hooked up to TV, if that makes sense. I think they were just like VHS tapes. Yeah. So we all went outside for like an all-day recess type thing. And I remember the teachers gathering around the radio. Oh. And I told Kurt this morning, I'm like, they were either listening to KMOX or they were listening to Dave. Because Dave was simulcasting on all the MS. I mean, those are really the only two possibilities to me. So that's like a weird connection. But yeah, I just remember being at school and being like, something weird's going. I mean, I'm 10. When you tell me like the terrorists have hit the World Trade Center, I don't know what that means at that point.
Was it scary for you guys?
It was really scary when I got home and I was talking to my mom and my brother about it, and they kind of let me know how serious it was, and then I was extremely scared.
Okay.
It was kind of hard to like process what was happening.
I don't remember being, scared. Like,
I was aware of what was happening, but I don't know. I didn't feel like fear.
I got you
over it, I guess.
I remember going out on a break in the middle of the day because I was on, I think, 4 to 6 back then. And I was in court that morning. And then I went into the station and they threw me on the air because I was the only live talent. And I was on from like 10 in the morning till 10 at night or something crazy like that. But I remember on a break walking outside and there were no planes.
That was weird. Yeah.
And that was weird.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking for the very first time in my life, having real fear, not expecting a bomb to drop on MS Communications, but thinking that could happen.
Yeah.
Like we just don't know if they're done with running planes into things.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of interested to get where Rach and Andrew were, because being kids, I didn't have that experience. I was 30. My kid was 4, so she didn't have a big concept of anything, right? She didn't have fear or much of that because when you're 4, you're not really grasping a lot of those kind of things. But yeah, that was always the striking thing, Dave. I lived really close to O'Hare during that time period, and it was like so notable when there's no air traffic. And then when it started back up, that was super weird because you're like, oh, what is that one going to be one? Is that one going to be one? Just at first. And I know I went to the first day that Major League Baseball came back after 9/11. I was at what's now I was at I forget what it was called, U.S. Cellular at the time, but the White Sox game. And I went and covered it just to see kind of the vibe, right? Sports are back. What's the crowd like? What's it going to be? And it was super weird. It was super weird doing a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't remember what it was, if it was a week and a half later.
Letterman was the first thing I remember comedically where he came out and talked.
Yeah.
And it was I was a big Letterman fan, so it was really helpful to me.
Yeah.
Hey St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. As a local small business owner for the past 24 years, I always do my best to shop local and support our community. Recently, 2 of the largest tree contractors in the region have sold to out-of-town investment groups. This means that the new owners of these companies are not invested in quality, customer satisfaction, or safety, except for how it affects their bottom line. Timberline Professional Tree Care was founded in 2001 and is focused solely on giving you, the customer, the safest, highest quality product while providing the best customer service before, during, and after the job. I've poured my heart and soul into tree care for the past 24 years, and we aren't going anywhere. When it comes time to take care of your trees, I ask that you shop local and call me, Ben Barnett, at Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or online at stltreecare.com.
Tell you guys about Neovitin. I think you know about Neovitin if you listen to the show. It is a locally created, made in the U.S., which is important because of the regulations. It's next to many Chinese products, and just because something's from China doesn't mean it's subpar, but it does mean that they don't have regulations. So you hope that it has all the things that it says that it has. With Neovitin, you know that it does. 20 ingredients, vitamins, antioxidants, omega-3 fish oils. I don't like taking big pills. I never have, actually, but the older I get, the less I like it. And these are very easy to swallow. No problem there. Take 2 pills a day. Cost less than $1 a day. A portion of that, the proceeds of every bottle, are going to go to cancer research in honor of our founder, Dr. Ken Ribicki, my doctor and my very good friend going back all those years. If you would like to buy it locally, do it right off the shelves at Schnucks and Deerbergs, or online at neovitin.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good, because every year dozens of children are forgotten in the back seat. Cars get hot fast and can be deadly, so get it in your head. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676. 800-201-7676. 800-201-7676.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, we've got sunshine. It's 88 degrees downtown at the Arch. A former Missouri state politician is pleading guilty to pandemic fraud.
Former Missouri House Speaker John Deal of Town & Country pleads guilty to one count of wire fraud after defrauding the Small Business Administration's CARES Act during the pandemic. According to prosecutors, he defrauded $379,000 from the federal government that were intended to go to his business, Deal Law, where he was the sole employee. Instead, they went to a litany of other personal expenses, including but not limited to Audis, Teslas, Jeeps, credit cards, mortgage payments, and more. Deal is set to be sentenced on December 19th at 9:15 a.m. He faces up to 20 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. Outside the federal courthouse, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
CBS News special report. Utah authorities have released photos of a person of interest in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk.
This photo tells us a lot. It tells us that they don't have the suspect's exact ID pinned down.
And CBS's Anna Schechter reports we've learned more about the events immediately following the shooting.
This individual fled on foot, I believe to have gone into the woods, dropped the weapon.
CBS's Scott McFarland with more on what we've learned about the scene.
The shooter would be roughly 200 yards. That's 2 football fields away from Charlie Kirk with a bolt-action high-powered rifle. A bolt-action rifle would be used in so many contexts by hunters to be that kind of distance away and be able to take down a target with just one shot.
The FBI has now offered a reward for information on the suspect, and Vice President Vance has flown to Salt Lake City to escort the body to Arizona. CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
We took a walk around downtown during the lunch hour to see what people are saying about this.
You got to think twice before throwing your hat into that ring because you're basically putting a big target on your back, right? And it just seems, the more publicity you get, the larger that target gets.
No comment. I'm sad. That's all.
I really don't care, to be honest. Don't really care. That's about it.
What does it mean for America right now that someone could be assassinated for what they believe in like that?
It's happened to Democrats too.
The Gateway Arch National Park is celebrating its 60th anniversary this October. The iconic structure has been woven into the identity of many of our region's businesses and organizations through their branding. And the Gateway Arch Park National Park wants to feature those in an upcoming exhibit.
The Arch is so much part of the DNA of this region that local businesses have taken pride in putting the Arch either in their marketing materials or even in their logos.
John Orrell, Public Affairs Officer at the Gateway Arch National Park, says you have until September 19th to submit your designs. From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, mortgage rates are headed in the right direction for prospective home buyers. Here's Jason Brooks.
Freddie Mac reports that the 30-year fixed mortgage rate plunged 15 basis points to 6.35%, the biggest weekly decline in the past year, although rates remain well above the year-ago pace. and signs are pointing to more downward pressure on mortgage rates, with the yield on the 10-year Treasury note dipping below 4% for the first time since April. And mortgage rates are heavily influenced by the 10-year yield, more so than the Fed's benchmark lending rate, which has a bigger effect on short-term rates.
And the Mortgage Bankers Association reports that purchase applications rebounded last week, while refi applications surged higher by more than 12%. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now with Stifel's Kevin Monton.
Thanks, Michael. The markets continue their surge to new all-time highs today, with the Dow gaining 617 to close above 46,000 at 46,108. S&P was up 55 at 6587. NASDAQ gained 164 at 22,050. And finally, the Bloomberg St. Louis Index was up 15 at 1649. Winners to the upside, Centene gained a whopping 9% at 3408, and Bear was positive 3.3% at 845. Stocks to the downside, only one. Boeing was off 3.3% at $219.99. Finally, Stifel up 1.9% at $115.32. This has been Kevin Monton, Senior Vice President of Investments at Stifel, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. For more information on Stifel, please visit our website at stifel.com.
We have had a great run of weather, but summer is now going to take control into next week. Lots of sunshine this afternoon. Humidity kind of in the moderate range. 92 for the high. Tonight, clear skies. 67 for the overnight low. Friday, really a summer feel. Sunny, hot, more humid on Friday. 95 degrees. The record's 98, so we're short of the record on Friday. The weekend, Saturday, sunny and 96. Also short of the record of 100. And Sunday, partly sunny, maybe a spot afternoon thunderstorm Sunday, 95. Also short of a record of 101. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM KMOX.
And the weather sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door for same-day service. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlewis.com or call 314-781-5200. Sunshine in 88 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Few minutes past 3 p.m. Thursdays at 3. Our buddy Janelle comes in and we talk about movie reviews and entertainment and stuff like that, or just, whatever we're going to be talking about that day. Mike Elam's already here for some reason, kind of creepy. He's an hour early.
He's just stalking the halls.
Yeah, he's just stalking the halls.
Striking up conversations.
Just being Mike Elam.
Yeah.
He's out there Elaming people.
He's got his face pressed up against the glass.
Yeah. That would actually
He's
be
breathing
great.
on the glass and writing, "Do you need me
He's
yet?"
campaigning.
That would
already.
be great. If he's just right there and his face was on the weird window.
I'm kind of waiting for it.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a thing I would do.
Yeah.
Not sure that's a Mike Elam thing, but that's what would make it great.
Andrew, wait until about 3:50, then cancel him.
Yeah, something came up.
Yeah.
I'll text him as I'm standing near him in the hallway. I'll text him like, "Hey, buddy."
Hey, we're just slammed right now.
Hey.
Sorry.
While we're on the air, obviously doing nothing better than what he would have done. So
Right, we're doing normal goof around
just
stuff.
normal goof around stuff. Something breaking, Mike. No, let's not act like we haven't done that before.
Well,
I mean, although I'm better about ganking people, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell this story on the air, but I'm going to refresh your memory on the break. There's a real good one.
There's one I'm
boy.
thinking of too in particular that is.
I'll just close my ears. Just
Yeah.
sign an NDA.
We're all having fun.
Yeah, I used to be a lot more whimmy. Just like
Wimmy?
Whimsical.
Not today. Not today, Mike Elam.
Not today, my friend.
Bring me a goblet of something.
The feels are not correct.
So what have you seen lately?
Well, nothing. I mean, Downton Abbey was the last thing that we were allowed to screen. So, yeah, now it's just a major time. Right now, it's kind of a downtime for movies. I know The Long Walk is coming out. I know it's going to be out this evening. So I plan on trying to see that tomorrow and hopefully catching The Conjuring Last Rites as well. Right now, it's downtime at the movies. So it's a lot of what can you watch streaming, everything that's kind of started at the beginning of the summer. It's kind of starting to filter its way here now, or at the beginning of the summer, filtering its way down to TV. And it's really bad timing. It sounds really bad, but on pay-per-view this weekend is going to be Weapons. And Warfare is on HBO this weekend. So
talk to me about Weapons. I have not sought anything out about it. All I've seen are TikTok responses.
Okay.
And they don't make sense to me. Like, I haven't walked away from it going,
sure,
I think I have an idea what this film is about.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad that people haven't spoiled it for you. I mean, that's like, actually kind of impressive.
Like, some people are like, it was horrific. I don't know what life means anymore.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, of course they're going to do it. Gets you the clicks. I mean, anybody that talks in hyperbole is going to get the clicks. That's the reason a lot of times my videos are just like, it was okay. And nobody cares because I'm not like, the world is ending or has changed my life kind of thing. It's like, it's a movie, you take from it what the writing can be good. It can be bad. It's good. It's a different take on a horror film. I enjoy that the Zach Kreger has a certain vision and he saw it through. I think the villain in the movie, you might see a lot of that Halloween costume this year, but it's interesting. It's told from, I think, 5 different point of views during the movie. It starts with, it's almost like a chapter. It gets you and it leads you to, with everybody kind of at the end. But yeah, I think it's good. I wouldn't rent it for $20 like you
that's
might
my
do.
move.
Yeah. Dave's like, I rent it for $20 and get 30 minutes in.
No, please don't do that.
Pretty much.
No.
Pretty
If
much.
you get a little bit more time, it'll be streaming for free.
Yeah. If you weren't willing to pay $20 for it at the movie, don't pay $20 for it at home. Like the experience that you think you're going to enjoy being on your couch watching a movie, but your phone is in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the same. It's just not. So if you weren't, yeah.
And the more I sit on it, the more I think like you can't possibly enjoy a movie that you rent for $20. Like,
no,
it's going to create such like a high bar in your mind.
Mhm.
That's like, I'm going to need to get $20 for a 2-day. Like, that's just, it's so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're paying $20 to sit on your couch. Whereas if you would have gone to the movie theater, it would have been completely blacked out, surround sound, a huge screen. It's just not the same.
I get that, and I don't disagree with you, but
You
I
shake
think
your head
maybe
no.
you're overselling it because
What am I overselling?
F1 sucked. Like
It was a
bad
theater
acting,
movie. It was-
bad screenplay.
Sure, 100%. But I'm saying like racing movies rarely ever translate to home. But it was a film for the big screen. It was so that way when he's in the car and it was during the racing experiences, you're immersive in that and the sound is around you. Outside of that, you're right. It wasn't. It was the acting and the love story was terrible and the script was not great. But the few things that you could get from being at the theater, that was what they was. And once I had said, once you get it home, this is not going to do well.
You ever think, I think weird things like this, like movies today are obviously different than they were in the 40s and the 50s, but they're essentially the same thing. You know, they're 90 minutes ish long and there's a story and there are shots. You ever wonder when movies are going to radically change? Like when someone's going to do an 8-minute movie or when someone's going to truly have a horrific ending, like, you know what I mean? Like en masse, like 10 years from now, when we go to the movies, is it going to be kind of the same thing we're doing now?
Yeah, because I mean, they do have short films and they don't like right now. They're still pretty cerebral. So they probably, maybe that's the reason they haven't caught on. They need to be dumbed down more for,
Well, also nobody's paying to go see an 8-minute movie.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to.
I'd pay $20 at home.
I do wonder, though, I think films will always exist as they do now, just as an art form. But I do wonder if there will be like, yeah, show up to this theater at this time and we're going to play 2 hours of all your favorite TikTok. Like, you know what I mean? Like something short form that you do experience in a large group. I don't know what that'll look like, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like that did happen.
I think movies have clearly changed because of the streaming TV services that are doing a lot of things that previously would have been movies are now TV series.
Sure. Yeah, there's a high production value.
So
going
you're
into it.
getting 10, 12 hours a season, and you're getting multiple seasons as opposed to maybe a trilogy. And there's just how much material is there?
You still have people complaining that they have to wait a week maybe between episodes.
Yeah.
And it's like, it wasn't
bingeable.
Yeah. It's like, oh God, maybe that's a good, like, I don't know. I can't stare at a screen for too long anyways. That's just not my thing.
Do we have anything coming up for the fall and the pre-Oscar season that you're looking forward to?
Oh, there's a lot of talk. I mean, like, you got the Frankenstein is coming out with Oscar Isaacs.
See, that's I always watch Frankenstein movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always watch Oscar Isaac movies.
I saw a criticism of the new Frankenstein movie. And it was in a big outlet that basically said
Frankenstein.
I let it go.
Frankenstein.
You're trying to
I
be
said
good.
that like I was drunk.
It's
Frankenstein.
The way he said
Frankenstein.
with a little roll on the R's, like Frankenstein.
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 I thought it was adorable, like a little kid.
It's so cute.
A
Frankenstein.
little kid
Frankenstein.
eating beanie weenies like, when's Frankenstein?
Frankenstein.
Dad, when can we watch Frankenstein?
I can't even get to this now. I saw a criticism that it didn't make the monster enough of a monster, and like that, and everybody's response was, "Did you not read the book? Because the book is pretty clearly a certain way."
Yeah, I mean that was also people's criticism for Nosferatu was he didn't look Dracula enough. It's like, well, okay, I mean he's a dead guy who, spoiler alert, rises from the dead. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna look more. No, people don't have any kind of literary I think I can't remember who wrote the review on the Frankenstein that had come out. Frankenstein that had come out, and people were like, "Yeah, you clearly missed the entire part of the."
And it was a
book.
big movie. It was like big outlet. It was something like
I don't
a big magazine or something like that. And you're like, what? If you're a film critic, you should know that if it's true to the book.
Sure. I always like to read the book, the original book version of a film. Like when Mickey 17 had come out, I read the novel, and the novel actually kind of sucks compared to the movie. Like it made me appreciate the movie actually more than, and the movie wasn't all that great, but it still was better than the book. And right now I'm reading The Long Walk, which is the Stephen King story that comes out, and it, I'd like to see how they're adapted, but it gives me a better sense of like, okay, what am I supposed to be pulling from this movie? Like, what was the author's original vision compared, and how is the director pulling it off? I mean, I'm not expecting everybody to do that, but I think it's fun to do. I mean, it's not like I have a whole bunch to do with my time.
Did you guys see what people are doing for The Long Walk?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the treadmill thing.
That they're gonna have to stay above 3 miles per hour
Which
or
is
something on a
crazy
treadmill
because
the whole time because you got to mirror what's going on.
Well, in the book, it's 4 miles an hour, so it's kind of like they're kind of slowing it down for people. But yeah, it's you have to stay above 3 miles. 3 miles an hour for however long the movie is, because that's the theme of the movie is that these 100 kids go on a walk and then you have to stay above 4 miles an hour. Or I'm not going to spoil the movie for you, but terrible things happen. It's a Stephen King book, so yeah.
That happened in South Roxana.
And you survived too.
Yeah.
The end, did you get whatever you wanted, whatever your heart's desire?
I'm here, aren't I?
Oh, that's sorry.
I didn't always look like this. I used to be not attractive.
It's the witch. It's your witch. What was your witch?
Casting a spell? My glamour
He's
witch.
a glamour
That's
witch.
right.
I'm Kristen Press. And I'm Tobin Heath. We're World Cup winners, Olympians, and the hosts of The Recap Show.
Every week, we sit down with the icons, disruptors, and game changers on the field and beyond it to talk victories, heartbreaks, and everything in between.
We've built a space where athletes, change makers, and people creating the future of women's sports can show up and show off as their full, unapologetic selves.
Follow and listen to The Recap Show wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
That baby's gone! Cardinals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home of the Cardinals. That ball was mashed. And there are more ways to watch this season. Holy cow! Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals without blackouts. How about that play? Or watch through a TV provider. Incredible! Including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more. He got it! Learn more at Cardinals.com/TV. Ball game! That couldn't have worked out any better for the Cardinals.
Best thing you guys can do if divorce has become a part of your vernacular, or if it's a good friend who is confiding in you about thinking about filing for divorce, or that their spouse has brought it up, or they found something out that they don't like, send them to Susan L. Ward. Or if it's you, go to Susan L. Ward. Here's what you can do. You can call her at 314-783-9400. You can reach out to them by email. If you go to stlfamilylaw.com, you let them know that you listen to the DGS or KMOX and you would like to get a free consultation with Susan. She'll set up about a 15 or 20 minute consultation over the phone because it's free. She's not going to charge you anything. And what I would recommend that you do is write down your top 5 to 10 questions. 5 if they're going to be complicated, like, hey, we have $600,000 in a 401k, and I had $100,000 in it before I got married, and now blah, 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 blah. Or if it's simpler things like, the kids are never simple, but you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what's the current law on how much time a dad gets as opposed to a mom? Write down your questions. She'll give you actual answers. She's not going to fudge. You'll be like, well, that's really dependent. She'll let you know, well, you're in St. Charles County, which means that maintenance may be a little less than if you're in St. Louis County. She'll give you actual answers to your questions, which may help you to make the right decision. 314-783-9400, stlfamilylaw.com.
Are you a skilled maintenance or process technician and feel like you're not being paid what you're worth? At Pretium Packaging, we're shaping the future, one bottle, one idea at a time. We value innovation, sustainability, and experience. And right now, we're hiring. Bring your expertise to a company that believes in paying top dollar for talent. With great pay, great benefits, and opportunities to grow, you've got to check out Pretium, packaging your ideas into solutions. Apply today at PretiumPKG.com. That's Pretium with a T, PKG.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for Your Retirement Highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
This is Megan Lynch. 250 doctors go to Ophthalmology Associates. That's why I trust them. Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
1120 AM, 1041 FM, and streaming on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen, wherever you listen.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX 322. Dave Murray will join us at the bottom of the hour. Janelle hanging out with us until 4. Mike Elam is in the kitchen. He thinks he's on at 4. Little does he know that he's about to get sent home. So I wouldn't do that to Elam.
Poor Mike.
I wouldn't do it to him.
Not once he's in the building.
Yeah, now it's awkward. Now it's awkward. Why don't we do a DGS happy hour here? It's where we just kind of throw out any sort of topic for our little happy hour. Anyone got anything?
I have something.
Okay.
It's lighthearted to get the happy hour started off. I saw a factoid on the internet yesterday Play-Doh was originally created for?
I think I know this.
Play-Doh. Okay, yeah.
It was actually made as like a cleaning tool.
Yes, that's right.
Oh.
So you could get in there and get all the dust and
Speaking of
everything.
that, I want to buy one of
done.
those.
So you weren't supposed to eat it?
A cleaning tool or
They
Play-Doh?
have they have those now. They're little like Play-Doh-y things, and that's how you clean your car. You just roll
I've
it around.
seen this,
And it can
yes.
get into all the little cracks that you can't get your towels and your little cleaning thingies in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be pretty gross when it comes back out?
I guess, but you just roll it up and it all goes inside. I don't know.
It disappears.
It's very Frankenstein.
Not my problem at that point.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
I gotta say, Play-Doh is one of my favorite scents on
Yes.
this planet. There's
Oh,
something
sure.
about it.
I was just gonna say I used to just like huff it as a
Same.
child.
So then, when
It's
something
like-
smells
Explains
so
a lot.
good, it makes you want to taste it.
Sure.
And then the taste is like extremely salty and gross, but
Yeah.
the smell, nothing beats the smell.
I loved biting silly putty.
Same.
Yeah, that was a snap.
Oh, it had a snap.
One of us. I love it,
Snap.
Wheels.
So
what,
great.
what was the snap?
Just what do you mean?
It's like biting into rubber.
I've been
really.
chasing. I've been chasing that high for like 30 years. I need to know how to get that snap in a food.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's similar to cased meat snap.
A little bit.
Hot dogs, brats.
You felt that one, didn't you?
But it keeps
Oh yeah,
going.
when you guys were talking about loose meat the other day, I was like, "Kill me now! This is just stop
That's a horrible
talking."
name for a sandwich.
Texting my wife, can we have cased meat for dinner? I need a snap.
No more loose meat for
No
Andrew.
more loose meat. I need a
No,
case,
I need
please.
the snap.
Mm-mm.
Do you eat the case on cased meat? Like,
Do
can
eat
you?
The case is what holds together a bratwurst, for example.
Every hot dog you eat is
Every hot dog.
the case.
Okay.
Every corn dog.
If you eat like,
Well, sure,
if you eat
but
like
that's corn.
sausage links, you're eating the case.
Huh.
You know,
Okay.
the 15 corn dogs didn't bother me as much as it did a lot of people because I
Yeah.
was like, he could have 2 for lunch and 3 for dinner.
Yeah,
3 days-
that's exactly
yeah,
3 days
and I
in a
was like,
row.
that's okay.
So 6 meals in a row.
It's
Not in a row. He had
it's-
breakfast. Break it up.
Did he?
It's not.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
We had a corn dog
Thanks.
breakfast.
Having 2 corn dogs for lunch and 3 for dinner.
Yeah.
3 days in a row.
Is weird.
Yeah.
It's not enough to like have an intervention.
No.
But it's definitely
It's worthy of
odd.
joking about.
It's just
definitely
what I had. What was in the house?
Do you think it's more odd because there were no side items though?
To a degree, yeah.
Because I mean, it's no different than like me having a chicken breast, lunch, dinner. I mean, like
If you had
sometimes
15 chicken breasts in 3 days, I'd be worried.
I bet she does.
I mean, it's.
Not
I have a
worried.
lot
I would
of
make
chicken. I mean,
jokes
so,
about
like, I mean, not a full chicken breast, no, because I mean, like, I weigh out my chicken. I mean, it's gonna be a really stupid conversation, but I mean, but I can have
your
about.
motivation and Andrew's are sort of
At odds.
No, he's hitting his protein goals.
Yeah, I'm
That's
getting-
right.
I'm getting
That's
nutrients.
right.
Let's I mean,
I'm getting vegetables. I'm getting proteins.
Vegetables.
Corn.
Corn's not a vegetable.
Yes,
It's close enough.
Is corn
It's-
is a vegetable?
Why am I over here googling?
think it
is
was?
corn a
Nutritionally, it's considered a
vegetable?
starch.
Yeah,
not a
it is.
vegetable.
It is
But
technically.
so is potatoes.
Yeah,
starchy.
but it's
Yeah.
still a vegetable.
Right.
Potato's still a
But
vegetable.
nutritionally, there's a difference, right?
Well,
Because like green beans and those
It
things are
clears
different.
you out. No, you're only renting corn anyway, so that's not really.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Just like preach, sister.
Yeah. Are you a lot lighter after the weekend? That's what's important.
I mean, no, because there was also a bunch of hot dog attached to the corn.
That's true.
They kind of
It
counteract.
didn't cancel it out.
Kind of counteract.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
get Elam in here.
They achieve balance.
Anyways, no, I just didn't have. I just because like I said, I have I'll have salmon, 5 meals in a row. Like not again, I'll have breakfast. So no, I'm not with you on that one. But I mean, I can have
Now imagine if that salmon was on a stick and coated in corn batter.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I
Yeah, that
mean,
doesn't sound
it
bad.
isn't
Cornbread
terrible.
salmon sticks? We got to get a better name for them. But
Stampin'.
salmon
We found the T that he was missing.
Yeah, no, it
Frankenstein.
was the N that I was missing
Oh.
in Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. It's missing consonant.
Should have made me my statement for Frankenstein.
Salmon and cornbread on a stick.
At 5, when others are running out of steam, the Redbird Rush Hour hits the gas. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Miklasz bring sharp analysis, fresh insight, and no recycled takes. Real baseball talk for fans who know the game. Redbird Rush Hour, weekdays at 5 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, the unrivaled voice of baseball.
Tell you guys about Michael's Flooring Outlet, the easiest, simplest live that I do all day, the easiest, simplest live that I've ever done. It's flooring. And when it comes to flooring, like everything else, right? Like recently I've had a bug up my butt looking at drums. I have 3 drum sets. I don't need any drums, but it's exciting to look at drums. And when you look at drums, you have really good companies like DW and Ludwig and Pearl and Yamaha and Sonar. And within those, you can get an entry-level kit. You can get a professional kit that's not a gazillion dollars, or you can get the $10,000, this is the nicest drums that we make in the world. Same way with flooring. You have Shaw and Coronet and Mohawk, and those are your DWs and Ludwigs and Pearls. And within those, you have like a kind of a starter indoor-outdoor kind of carpet. It's great. It's great quality, but it's not what you want in your formal room. Then you have the normal carpeting. This is good enough for anyone in the world. Then you have the luxury, where it's that room that as a kid that your rich friends, like you couldn't even go in there. You certainly can't take Kool-Aid or pizza. We have it all. We have it at better prices than anyone else because we know what we mark up, and we mark up less. We shake your hand. We look you in the eye. We don't follow you around the store, but we're in the store if you need us. It really is kind of perfect. MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center.
Well, we're heading out on the highways this afternoon. A lot of slow traffic, but nothing too terrible. Westbound 70, a little slow at the city limits. Otherwise, it looks great till you get out around Lake St. Louis out through 61. We have a crash northbound 79 at Dalbo Road. That's jammed about midway back to North Main Street right now. If you're on westbound 64, Kings Highway, headed out through McCausland's heavy, Lindbergh to Ballas, slow. A little busy at Boone's Crossing, a little slow west of K, and then bogged down the whole way from 364 out to 70. Southbound 270 from Page down through Clayton Road is heavy. Northbound 270 Manchester to Ladue is slow. Westbound 44, the right lane's back up at Geyer. Southbound 55, Gasconade Bates kind of heavy. Z down to McNutt and A down to 67. Slower stuff down in the Jefferson County area. Illinois interstates look pretty good right now. I don't see any issues on there. Runs into the Illinois side. We have roadwork going on westbound 5564 at 3rd Street. The left lane's closed, but it's not bothering anybody right now. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Football is back, thank goodness. And Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri, and playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more during football season. There is nothing better. Download the app today and sign up with promo code TOM. That's really important. Promo code TOM to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TOM. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Celebrate the month of September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. Take $75 off your air duct cleaning as well. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Spell it forward, spell it backwards, always spells the same. Zero Res.
This is Justin Brown with Krenz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. As retirement approaches, one question matters most. How will you replace your paycheck? With decades of experience, we've helped retirees turn uncertainty into clarity through personalized income planning and steady guidance. Our proactive strategies are designed so you can enjoy the retirement you worked your lifetime for, with clarity, confidence, and peace of mind. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is our broker-dealer.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The countdown to kickoff starts here. Friday's focus on Mizzou, the Chiefs, and the NFL. Only on KMOX.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Dave Murray joins us. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
Dave, we're just discussing our various experiences with sex education. And mine was walking into the boys' locker room for the first time in 7th grade and realizing not everyone was like me. Like, I had no education. I had
a funny way to put
I
it.
had
Yeah.
I had no warning. I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know the first thing. I thought girl parts were on a completely different part of their body. Like, my mom and dad just never talked to me.
For anybody watching the stream, you know where he was talking.
Well, he moved off camera, so maybe not.
Okay.
But no, like, at least in Roxana during the 70s, like in 8th grade, we had a health class where all they did was show us gigantic slides of STDs. Like I just knew that they were getting a kick out of it. Like, you could tell the guy teaching it, who was a creeper, and everyone knew he was a creeper. Every school had him, was just showing us giant pictures of these things. And you're like, okay, well, this is helpful. This is edifying. Thank you.
I had an older brother, so it was like none of that was new to me. You know, it was something
That's helpful.
You know, and I don't remember a sex ed class at all. I'm sure I had them, but I don't remember it all. Remember, I'm a weather geek. It was like, yeah, what's that have to do with weather? Nothing. I don't care.
Put it in weather terminology for him.
Just tell me about the dew point. That's all I want to know.
Oh, my. Okay, Kevin.
He's being edgy today.
He is.
Yeah.
Come on.
Tell me about the dew
Come
point.
on. Of all things?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
For
right.
the love of God.
That you do not have an innocent look, so that did not work.
I declare.
Let me explain it through Frankenstein. You know, the bride of Frankenstein.
He's stamming on a stick.
Whew. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have anything for Christian school?
No.
Nothing?
They in like 5th or 6th grade, they took the boys and girls in separate rooms and told us, like, you need to start wearing deodorant because you guys don't smell good.
That was your sex ed.
That was like, as
Yeah.
far as it went. The rest was like, when you get married, you're gonna find out a whole lot of stuff.
We had a bunch. Yeah, that was a pretty regular conversation.
What do you mean?
The deodorant one, like, you guys all
Oh.
smell, man. You need to take more showers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
man.
Coach Larry in junior high. He was like, everybody loved Coach Larry, but it was like, you guys all stink. You guys are really terrible.
7th grade boys.
I mean, I coach.
This is what I want you to
14-year-olds.
do when you go home.
Yeah. You get surrounded sometimes, and you're like team meeting. You're like, oh, you guys got to go run, man. You got to get out of here.
I went the other way. Once I discovered deodorant and cologne, it was on.
Bathed in it.
Hit the cloud
Oh,
around
yeah.
him.
I was putting English leather in my bathwater.
English leather.
No mosquitoes getting him today.
No. You knew when I walked in the door.
They were all dying 20
There's
feet away.
There's that stinky kid that doesn't know where a vagina is. Andrew, how about you?
I think I smell okay. I think I
Back then.
I mean, you guys
Back
tell
then.
me.
He's talking about school.
Back then, probably
How's
not.
your dew point?
Well, I went to Catholic school, so we didn't get much. And then I just found a lot of else out,
On
like
the street.
context. Well, then it's 6th grade is when I moved to public school.
Oh.
So everybody else already knew. So I just like context clues. Right?
Yeah,
like, you
figured
know,
it out on the fly.
just keep your eyes and ears peeled,
A lot
head
of-
on a swivel.
A lot of nodding along when people say things.
Yeah. You learn.
Yeah, thinking back, sex education would have been nice
Helpful?
to have. Yeah, because Andrew's just like reminding me of the things I was assuming from the things other kids were talking about. I was very incorrect on a couple of things.
Were you and I were probably lined
Were
up
you
pretty well.
as incorrect as Dave?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I've told you guys before, for a long time, I thought intercourse was vomiting, like between mouths.
Yeah, I had blocked
Oh,
that
God.
out, but now I remember.
Yeah, I mean, you remember that. I told
This
this
is
story.
pre-wheels, and Wheeler is
Is that
leaving.
free? Is that free wheels?
We were just
I think we finally
left.
pushed him over the edge.
So that's
Wow.
that's the quality of sex education I received at St. Peter and Paul
Wheels,
School.
He told us this years ago, and we had all forgotten.
I kind of forgotten it too until I was like, oh, I think I've told them the story.
I almost swore. That's why I got up and left.
I
How
was
long did
wrong.
it take you to get over that, Andrew?
It turned out I was wrong.
How many tries did it take you to figure that out?
So you're ready to seal
Like,
the
we still don't
deal.
have any kids.
How many women did you traumatize?
I remember the first person I mentioned that to, and they were like, "That's not right." Well, I'm telling it to another 7th grader, so they're like, "I don't think so." I don't really know either.
Maybe not.
I don't really know either, but I'm pretty sure that's not it.
Were you looking forward to it?
No, I thought it sounded terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
I was
you
like,
put it that
man,
way.
this is tough. I don't want to do that.
So many jokes.
Did someone tell you that?
I don't remember why. I think I came up with it myself.
This should worry you.
Like I think I would see people like kissing on TV,
Be like, he's waiting for the vomit.
being like, oh, yeah, and I'd be like, oh, they're doing it.
And they puked as well.
And they brought
Clearly,
that.
there's vomit involved.
Well, we were told
They cut
one of the
away
only things we
doing
were
it.
told in sex ed is that there is a transfer from the male
Oh,
to the female.
boy.
Oh, well, come on.
Yeah, no.
We're
I
talking about
know,
sex
that's-
education here. There's a transfer from the man to the woman, and I'm like, well, there's only one way that could happen.
That's fair. That's fair.
That is fair.
Like that is so. If you're wondering the quality of education,
Because the real way is almost more disturbing when you're.
yeah, I was like, well, I know that can't be happening.
I guess the kids today just get it all on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 There are no secrets.
I think that's how I eventually found out. I think you just, you get a hold of the internet, and someone's like, "Have you tried looking that up on the internet?" And I'm like, "Ugh, goodness, no."
Sure, that is still a search out there.
It is now.
Yeah. That's going to spike this afternoon.
Yeah, that could have really messed me up. I'm glad that it didn't have any lasting dramatic effects.
Could have messed you up.
Yeah, no.
It messed me up.
Yeah.
well,
Kevin's a
he's at
grown
least
man.
it hasn't messed him up to the point where he's paying for that fetish now.
Yes.
Right.
So,
That's so true.
good job, Andrew.
Yeah, you overcame it. There's a very, very small support group for that.
Subreddit
you
with
there's
4
one, though.
members.
People in the stream were saying, Andrew, oh my God.
I just keep trying to picture what these context clues were that led him to.
Well, no, this was before context clues.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like 5th grade that I thought that.
Okay.
Because that was when I was in Catholic school and I was receiving,
really
very
blame the Catholics for this.
I received a very poor half-assed sexual education, which led me to think
Clearly.
that sex was vomiting, Dave. I
don't
do
even
blame
think
them,
it's
yes.
half-assed. Yeah, it's sort of an indictment of Vatican II.
I do pin that solely on St. Peter and Paul Church. But the context clues, you going from a Catholic school in 5th grade to a public middle school in 6th grade. I mean, it was wild. It was crazy. I'd been released into the jungle. I had never experienced anything like this. I'd only met like 10 other children in my entire life. And then I'm submitted to a class of like 150 kids.
Yeah.
Like public school kids at like the wildest time of their life when they're in like middle school and they're just starting. They just learned all this stuff. So it's all they can talk about all the time.
You're walking around sticking your finger down your throat.
And I'm pretty sure that I know I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that I'm not right, but I don't know for sure. So I have to like really pay close attention to what everyone else is gabbing about.
Did you ever bring that up with anybody?
You guys.
No,
Just live on the radio.
I mean, in
You guys
7th
live
grade.
on the radio? No, I don't think I ever did. I think I might have. I think I did probably mention it to one or two buddies, and they were like, probably not.
I really wish you would have told your dad.
Oh my God.
I didn't talk to my dad about stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
At least they didn't think you were bulimic.
This doesn't feel good at all. What's everybody talking about?
Andrew, you've been in the bathroom for a long time.
They think they know what you're doing, but they don't. It's perfectly natural, honey. You'll get over this. Dave, want to do a short forecast?
Sure, why not? The humidity's still not too bad today. We're right around 90 degrees. 95 tomorrow, 71 Friday night, Saturday, more humid, 96. Sunday, partly sunny, hot, humid, 95, maybe a spot storm. Keep it going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. This will be around for a while.
Right.
There you go.
All right. Lynn says, oh my God, I needed this. Thank you. You got
Here to serve.
That stories are going to be told a lot this afternoon and tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I'd watch people on like actors on TV, right? And they'd be doing like big, kind of like big dramatic kisses, right? And so I would be like, well, there's plenty of room for
I never want
vomit.
I never want to see you throw up.
Stop.
Just plenty.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic report's a service of McKelvey Homes, westbound Highway 70. Got some slow traffic, Riverview through Jennings Station. It's a little busy both ways around Earth City, the Blanchette Bridge. It's slow. Approaching Sunbelt to Cave Springs, west of Lake St. Louis Boulevard out through 61, just kind of busy. South 170 bogs down south of Delmar. Westbound 64, Kings Highway headed out through Clayton Skinker. Clayton Warson to 270. Top Golf to about the Boone Bridge is pretty busy. And then again for 364 all the way out to 70. South 270, Page down to 64. And then again right through Manchester. Northbound 270, Manchester up to Ladue is slow. Eastbound 64, Maryville Center to 270 is heavy. Westbound 44, the right lane's back up at Geyer. Southbound 55, Gasconade Bates backed up a little slow. Z down through McNutt isn't as bad. South of there's a little bit of a northbound delay approaching 67 in that work zone. Westbound 44 downtown slow between the bridges as well. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
So there's a publication for lawyers called Lawyers Weekly. I remember reading it like just cover to cover back when I was practicing. And there's a section of it that has like verdicts and settlements, and it tells about the case and how much it went for, which really gives lawyers a great idea what to ask for and what to settle for. Well, Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law is in those pages all the time because his settlements and his verdicts are very impressive. Once a year, they do the top 10 power list where they name their version of the top 10 lawyers in the entire metropolitan area. And for the second time this year, Mark Cantor was included. So according to Lawyers Weekly, he is one of the 10 best lawyers in St. Louis. I know him pretty well. I vouch for him. He's very professional. He has a ton of credibility and integrity that can't be said of every plaintiff's attorney out there. It's not a favored community, and he does all he can to bring more respect to it. Bottom line is this: if you or someone you care about is injured and you want the most amount of money in compensation for it you can possibly get with the least amount of upset on your end without forwarding a single cent during the litigation, you need to call Mark Cantor. 314-628-9999 or cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You know, despite what we hear in the news, the world isn't all bad.
That's right. A little kindness can go a long way, like holding the door open, sharing a compliment, or just being polite.
It doesn't cost a thing, but it can mean everything to someone else.
So let's all do our part, one small act at a time.
Because kindness is contagious.
The Chris and Amy Show, spreading kindness. In partnership with Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical.
The Musial Awards celebrates its 20th year on Saturday, November 22nd at Stiefel Theater. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event hosted right here in St. Louis. It's a night to be entertained and inspired. Tickets at musialawards.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
Cardinal Cowboy here. After a coma, a miracle, and the fight of my life, I made it back to the games wearing my signature cowboy hat and jersey. Then came the baseball pants, the replica trophy, and the smiles and joy from the young fans. That's when the Cardinal Cowboy was born. Renner Garage Door knows how to bring joy too. With top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, and family service you can trust, get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Here you go. I'll show the stream.
Dave, you sure that's legal?
Oh, boy.
This is
it's
what
the
I
internet.
thought
You're allowed. Yeah.
breasts look like.
No.
And as you can see, they're like upside down sundaes, and the cherries are on the bottom. And the first time I saw a picture of a woman's breasts and the nipples are in the middle, I thought I had stumbled onto like disabled porn. Like I thought there's something really wrong with these people. And Rach just pointed out it was all based on my own drawing.
Yes. Yeah.
How narcissistic is that?
Yeah, that's.
I taught myself about human anatomy.
You're like, well, this clearly must
And
be.
then
it.
you're like, these other people are dummies.
Well, I drew it, so it must
Right.
be true.
Right.
Yeah. So like, never seen like a gorilla. You didn't assume they were
Where
at the
you
same
going with
place.
this?
I'm like the same place yours are in the middle.
Mine are on the bottom.
That's
He was
so
looking in the mirror. He was
Well, he's
looking in the
like,
mirror,
"Where's-"
and it's like, hey, that's
He's
where
like-
they go.
Now my
standing-
secret's out.
Stand in front of a mirror and he's like, well.
Maybe I just found them more attractive on the bottom. DJ's happy hour.
Those are
Frankenstein.
one of your classic drawings
Yes.
that I've
Yeah.
seen a million times. I've seen that. I've seen the shark.
Yes. Yes. The
I've
jaw
seen the
shark.
picture of you that you'll draw.
Yes. Yes. Those are my big three.
Those are the big three. They get drawn a lot.
Make it a tattoo. That's your next
Yeah,
tattoo.
there you go. I'll have the jaw shark trying to eat someone's.
With the boobs.
Yes.
With the bottom boobs, yeah.
With Dave's head on it.
Yeah.
You should draw yourself and show it to the stream. It's a good drawing.
Okay.
Draw what?
Dave does a drawing of himself, which is
Oh,
good.
it is pretty funny.
It's
Yeah,
a
I've
nice
seen this
little
one.
cartoon.
You
Dave.
guys talk amongst yourselves.
It's like when
Do
we-
with a shark body.
When we were kids, the thing we drew nonstop were dinosaurs.
Really?
Yeah.
Always joined dinosaurs.
That's cute.
T-Rexes, Brontosauruses.
Sure.
We loved drawing dinosaurs. Like, especially the T-Rex, though, because they were like the badasses.
I always drew cats or my stuffed penguin, specifically my stuffed penguin. I can draw them right now.
This just brought up a memory. The other thing we used to draw, this is the dumbest thing ever. We used to draw hockey goalies.
This one didn't come out very well.
There he is. That's Dave.
Or did it?
Dave's like, it's me. I bet if you stamped that to like just a white wall, you could sell it for $1 million.
Oh,
yeah, like the banana.
It's,
Yeah.
Right.
People would keep stealing it.
Just
You have to keep
staple
drawing
it to a plain
If
wall.
they ever put an APB out for this guy, you're like, oh my God.
Dave's like, damn it, they found me.
Dave finally snapped. If you see a man that looks like this with nipples on the bottom,
Be like, "Ugh, do not approach, call authorities.
Elam's here.
Yeah.
No avoiding it now.
He's trying to serious it up now.
Yes.
Like, oh no.
I kind of am.
We gotta,
You got to shift.
we gotta rein it in.
Smart Mouth Rage?
Yeah, so I want to talk about the Gum Health Smart Mouth Rinse. Dave and I have been talking about this a lot lately. I have been using the Gum Health because I felt like I needed it, and I have to say my oral health is doing a lot better. The Gum Health Rinse has the same 24-hour bad breath protection with just 2 rinses a day, but it also comes with advanced germ killing. It helps protect against bleeding gums. It's anti-plaque, it's anti-gingivitis, and it soothes your gums with natural aloe, which is really nice.
We also have dry mouth. We have the original. We have mouth sore if you get canker sores or fever blisters. And I typically get seasonal fever blisters, and I just pour some of the mouth sore product on a tissue and I just put it straight on it and they go away. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but I swear by it. It's available nationally at Walmart. Locally, you can find it at Schnucks. We can save you $2.50 off the bottle by going to smartmouth.com/Glover.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook